Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Director Watch, an Awards Watch podcast that attempts to get inside the mind of cinema's greatest auteurs, explore, and tries them. Maybe we go on a few unrelated tangents along the way. I'm Ryan McQuade, the executive editor here at AwardsWatch, and joining me as always is our top scientific mind, my co-host, Jay Ledbetter.
Ryan, it's the end of Hollywood Verhoeven, the last Hollywood film he's made. We're talking Hollow Man.
Yeah.
Which is exciting because it's probably his most
chill movie,
hated Hollywood movie.
Yeah, but it's super chill. Nothing in this movie
This one has not really gained much of a cult following, I would argue. Not like Showgirls.
Do you think it will one day?
No.
No one's going to turn around and be like, you know what, Hollow Man kind of slaps.
No, I'm not sure there's... You can make sort of a like, oh, it's about misogyny thing, but that doesn't make it any more fun to watch. Unlike Showgirls, you know?
You don't think that, well, don't put all your cards out on the table just yet. We're just starting off the show talking about Hollow Man.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. This is the last film within the Hollywood system. I mean, it's not the last film we'll cover. We've got a couple more to talk about.
Hollow Man, more like Hollywood.
Are you proud of yourself? Like, yeah. Are you like, think about it. Think about that. When it was in your when it was in your head and you were about to say it, did you think you were saying something smart?
I wish I was invisible right now.
Well, we're not alone, Jay. And we're definitely not alone
in hearing that joke because we're all invisible right now.
Yeah, that's right.
We've all taken the serum.
Yeah. Would you take that? Well, I'll ask you that in a minute. I'm not going to ask you that now. I'm going to get it to our guest who also had to hear your bad joke. And he is a contributor here at AwardsWatch. He's our great friend, Mr. Josh Parham. Josh, welcome back to Director Watch.
Thank you for having me back. Although now I am reconsidering after that joke. I feel like that was some sort of revenge having me sit here and listen to that.
You know what? That's fair, Josh. I mean, I'm the one that has to listen to most of them when they don't land.
Mm-hmm.
So does the listener.
That's what editing is for.
I mean, it is what editing's for, but
well, almost all of them land though.
It's just rare misses here or there.
My batting average is like 900.
Yeah. You think you're going to the Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Well, you are our top scientific mind, Jay. We all look to you for the answers of what is funny around here and what's not.
He's also like a rock star for some reason. Like, it doesn't really act like a scientist all that much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jay does?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got kind of a Kevin Bacon energy.
Do you think? Okay. I mean, do you really want to get into that here today? If you want to compare yourself to Kevin Spacey or Kevin Bacon in this movie? Well, he would compare himself to Kevin Spacey.
I'm going to go out of my way and say I will not compare myself to Kevin Spacey. I'm going to eliminate that comparison off the bat.
Not for this episode.
And say that, I mean, honestly, that's sort of a good entryway to talking about Kevin Bacon in general, who has just ever since this movie basically been a sleazeball, which he's very good at.
In movies?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because it seems like he's got like...
No, he seems like a great guy.
Yeah, he's married to Kira Sedgwick. She's the
married
closer.
For a long time.
Yeah. Did you ever watch The Closer, Jay?
Never watched The Closer.
Josh?
No, unless it was on a baseball field.
I have not watched The Closer. No,
God damn! All right, he came back around. That was a good joke. That's
God. They've been married since 1988. We love to see it.
Been together for a while.
She locked down that strip of bacon a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, Closer.
I have not watched The Closer, but it is always a show that just to me screams TNT.
Well, you're right, because it was on TNT.
I know, but like whenever I want to think about just TNT, not even
like the
as
most TNT show
as programming, just like what is a show, what is an entity that to me best describes what TNT is? It is The Closer.
Do you guys want to know something?
What's that?
Your boy's seen every episode of The Closer.
Congratulations.
It's a good show. She's great in it. It's a lot of fun. It was great summer programming because like there's like back before we had all the streaming options, children out there, we used to have seasons for television, and summer was a wasteland of reality television shows, game shows, and mediocre baseball games. And sometimes you just wanted to watch a regular show. And to Josh's point, The closer
And the
was
closer was on from 2005 to 2012.
there. You go. And so you had
Like the
7,
whole
8
thing.
summers of pretty decent, funny at times television. I will say this: the most TNT show I think of is. Do you guys remember the movie Animal Kingdom?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great. Very good movie, I thought.
They made that into a television show.
I just had my in-laws just recommended that television show to me.
Yeah, the Animal Kingdom
And I
television
said,
show?
you know, that was a movie. And they said, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, the audience for that show doesn't know that it was a movie.
Yeah, they don't because they're
Yeah.
the polar opposite in tone.
The movie was on for a long time, 2016 to 2022.
You mean that show was on for a long time?
Or the show. Yeah.
Yeah, because the movie. I mean,
looking
that's a
at it right
long
here.
movie. If that's the case,
You know what they had for a long time was NBA, not anymore.
I know, buddy. How you think ESPN is going to handle that?
Great. ESPN's studio programming is immaculate.
Do you think they're going to get? Do you think they're going to like force Stephen A. Smith to be a part of the Charles Barkley TNT team a lot?
Yeah, here's
I'm
my
worried about that.
assumption.
Sorry,
on
Josh,
the-
about
the
doing some sports.
NBA on TNT
All right.
on ESPN is that they're not going to get the like immediate pop that they want to out of the TNT crew coming in.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're gonna ESPNify it.
So
and-
you're very cynical on that note that they're going to just ESPNify it.
Yeah, what else are they gonna do?
I mean, they could just, I don't know,
They love commercials.
bring it on,
They
and
love commercials.
they do love commercials. But they've said on ABC that they're going to let it be its own thing. I don't buy that because they also have Scott Van Pelt who does their nightly ESPN stuff. And the best thing about TNT, the Inside the NBA on TNT, was the after show. Was after the games were over. That's where the funny shit would happen.
Agreed.
So I don't know how they're going to do it. Though it's not like
We'll
the
see.
programming on ESPN2 is any better. So like, why don't you just put them on over there? You know, after the game. I don't know. Josh doesn't care.
It's an expensive ESPN2 show.
Josh, have you ever watched Inside the NBA on TNT?
Nope.
Do you know what it is?
I can guess what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So, do you know who Shaquille O'Neal is?
Heard of him.
Charles
Kazam,
Barkley, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know. It's in my masterpiece. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I know who those people are.
Yeah, very famous man.
Jay, this is the tricky one. Do you know who Kenny the Jet Smith is?
No.
Yeah. Nobody knows
Yeah.
who Kenny is. That's fair. That's it's a running joke on the show.
Mhm.
And Ernie Johnson. So it's 4 guys. They've been doing basketball commentary on like TNT for what, like 20 years. And
Well, yeah,
anyway,
Shaq a later adopter, but yes.
yeah. And so ESPN bought. Well, they essentially are bringing them over. And ESPN, you know, obviously it's like worldwide leader in sports, but they're also really terrible because the NBA made a deal with Amazon, NBC, and ESPN and didn't renew with Turner, which would be TNT. And
Yeah.
But Turner has the best studio show.
yeah, so
And those guys were still under contract.
exactly. So they basically took their contracts and now they're going to incorporate them on a place that has terrible studio programming, and everybody is
But all the rights in the world.
exactly. So they're gonna fuck it
we'll
up
see.
essentially. Yeah.
We'll see.
But anyway, it's
Might
only
be a
right that we
Hollow
talk
Man
about
situation.
basketball on a Hollow Man episode.
Talk about something going wrong in a studio. I guess it's not really a studio.
You're really digging for it
compound.
tonight,
Wow.
aren't
A compound.
you? Josh has got you skating backwards, buddy.
You talk about.
Maybe I have to
you-
rescind the compliment that I gave Director Watch.
You talk about a group of people not getting together great in a constricted area. Hollow Man.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Yep.
You're not wrong. That was a save.
Landed
was,
that plane smooth.
That was like a Nathan Fielder.
That's one of those where they give
Plane
you a round of
landing.
applause after the plane landing. They say, "Great work,
Great. No
Captain."
one died. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, congratulations. Oh my God. Jay, Jesus. Josh, save us and talk about Paul Verhoeven, a director that we've talked about here the last couple of weeks, and what you like about him, what you don't like about him. And yeah, let's just start that with your relationship with Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Verhoeven is definitely, I think, one of the most fascinating filmmakers that I've been able to witness. And and obviously you guys have talked about him before, that he is somebody that really does know how to provide really entertaining spectacle that can reach the masses, but he can sneak in some subversive commentary in there too, and it makes him pretty unique where you can watch his movies and not pay attention to that at all and just think that these are fun action films, but there absolutely is a running commentary to them. And I've always found that to be really interesting about him. That isn't always consistent in every movie that he does, for sure, but when it does show up, I do think that that proves that he is a very clever storyteller and much more clever than I think a lot of people have given him credit for over the years. Like I think Starship Troopers is a movie that is filled with so much satire and political commentary in it. And for the longest time, people dismissed that movie as just a cheap action, well, not cheap, but like, cheap in terms of sentiment and tone to it. But there's a lot going on, and I really appreciate that about him. But as I said, it's not always consistent, and I think that sometimes when that commentary isn't deep, that's when the movies themselves are a little bit lesser to me. But I'm always fascinated by what he's got going on. There's no doubt about it to me that whenever there's a new Paul Verhoeven film, I'm like, I will be interested, even if I don't think it will always be the mark of high quality.
He is an interesting guy that when he's got, like you're saying, Josh, when he's got something, you got to save that money to go see it because it's going to be far more interesting than the usual schlock that we're going to get out on a given year. And that's why we're here today because we've talked about a lot of his high watermarks, the way Jay has talked about that in Hollywood. This is a guy that has been making some big movies, if not, then also over time made some cult classics. We're here to talk about Hollow Man, a movie in the new millennium, first time for Paul Verhoeven,
Yeah.
and literally in the year 2000. In a movie that is, well, it's a really interesting film. And Josh, I'm going to kick it back over to you. And Josh was kind of really interested from what I remember, and like, I'll do Hollow Man. And I'm curious
normal
because it's a normal flick. So, Josh, I'm curious about what you think about Hollow Man on a rewatch for you, right? If I'm not mistaken, and why you picked this one, buddy?
Well, I've always looked at Hollow Man as a movie that I thought was very fun, very entertaining, and knowing that it was basically trash, but I like trash
Who
oftentimes.
doesn't
So
like a good piece of trash, right?
exactly. And I've always sort of looked at it in that regard, that it's not high art or anything like that, but just as like a trashy horror movie. I always found it to be very fun, even though its reputation absolutely has been in the toilet for most of its time out there. But I will admit, I hadn't seen the movie in a while. And so this was the first time watching it again in quite some time. And I still think it's a fun movie. I am going to say that. I still had a good time with it overall. But I do think it is missing the more pointed, biting commentary that Verhoeven is normally used to working with. This one feels much more broad in its canvas. It's not really saying a ton. And I think when it does get into the more insidious parts of its narrative and these characters, it does feel a little bit more off-putting because there's nothing underneath to really back up that kind of commentary, apart from basically just men are egotistical garbage men and will always be terrible and basically like all rapists.
Well,
It kind of seems like that's what it's boiling down to, which is not an unfair assumption to make, but like it's pretty basic and shallow because of that. At the same time, I still think that the effects work in this movie is still rather incredible, even for a movie this old. Those effects really still hold up, in my opinion. And yeah, as like a take on The Invisible Man, as more of a horror film, I think it's fine. It's an enjoyable movie if that's your bag. I don't think it's great. I think there are plenty of issues with it, but for the kind of junky movie that it is, I think it does the job enough to get by.
J Dog,
That's high praise.
that's high praise for this film. J Dog,
Yeah.
we've been kind of hinting at it over the last couple of weeks that we were going to be talking about a very normal film on the Hollow Man episode.
Well, yes, I assume that people who have been following along knew that we were going to be talking about another Paul Verhoeven film, Hollow Man.
Um, this is a rewatch for you. I know you've seen this one
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
and so your thoughts on it, buddy?
Yeah, I've kind of been saying over the course of the series that Paul Verhoeven never made a bad Hollywood movie. I don't really know what I was talking about because I hated this movie the first time I saw it. Um, but I will say on this was the second time I watched this film. I think there's more to value in it. I also have been teasing over the course of the series that I think this is sort of the definitive Verhoeven POV in certain ways. He hates this movie. His whole opinion of this film is like anybody could have made this movie, and I don't feel that way about any other Hollywood movie I made. I can certainly see that point of view, but also this idea from Verhoeven, this to me, above all else, is a movie about consent. And it is a movie about how power distorts consent. And this is a man who is obsessed with consent from the very first scene of the film when he wants to look at a naked woman across his apartment complex, who closes her blinds. And he said, well, I should be entitled to seeing that naked woman because I am me. And that is sort of the mentality that he has throughout the rest of the film. And in fact, whether it is people trying to take over his scientific project, he says, no, I do not consent to that. Or whether it is him as an invisible man now saying, nobody has a right to consent to anything because they can't prove that I did or did not do anything. That is the direction that he goes when he sort of gains the ability to uh, consent no longer is a thing for him in the world that we currently recognize. And I think there is something very powerful to that. I think the last act of this movie is downright disastrous. I think it's boring and tedious and kind of contributes nothing to anything resembling a point of view, which has been Paul Verhoeven's greatest strength to this point in his Hollywood career. Uh, I think this is the beginning of Kevin Bacon ultimate sleazeball. He's very good at that. He's very good at it. He was never meant to be kind of a traditional movie star, but it is a film that is obtuse in ways that I think make some Paul Verhoeven movies great, and it is obtuse in some ways that constrict this and make it sort of a lesser Verhoeven film. I certainly understand Verhoeven looking back at this movie and saying, this is just not something that needed to be my movie. It does end up at the end of the day, especially in the final act, feeling like a sort of paint by numbers slasher film, which which stinks. I think it is not entirely without merit. The effects are really impressive. Really, really impressive. I think a lot of them still hold up today. And even if they don't necessarily hold up technically today, aesthetically, I think they still make sense because these are things that you could only capture with CGI. You know, they're trying to do things with CGI that are impossible to capture with a camera, which nowadays so many films are like, yeah, we could do this in camera, but we're going to do it with CGI because it's cheaper and easier. Not even necessarily cheaper, but just easier.
Yeah.
So to see Hollow Man trying to do something that is impossible to capture with a real camera is really engaging. I thought they did a really good job with that. But all in all, mediocre film, one that I like a lot about. Some of the imagery is great, but it really kind of devolves into something pretty tedious by the end, in my opinion.
So I hadn't seen this movie since it was released on home video. because my dad,
VHS cassette.
hmm thought it wouldn't be that bad. And I think every other
This is
5
one for
minutes,
the whole family.
well, you're like I was like 8. So like probably thought it was
Also,
like,
wouldn't be that bad in terms of you growing up. I don't know what scale you're using.
yeah, I don't know. Like for myself, I don't know. I mean, like I saw way too much shit I had no business seeing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I
But
don't know what your dad was expecting from the movie when he thought,
I
oh,
think
it
he
might
saw
not
it.
be that bad.
It was like, well, I was big growing up on the old classic Universal Monster stuff. So
Yeah, so
this
was
being
I.
like a modern Invisible Man thing, and I think about 15 minutes in, he realized, holy shit, this is not going to be
What
that.
if the Invisible Man was relentlessly horny?
I mean, to be fair, um,
That is the subtext, but it
yeah,
becomes text.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, and so like every other couple of minutes, I would just remember like, turn around, don't look, turn around, you can look, turn around, you can look. You know what I mean? And it's as you watch the film, you can clearly see why I had to turn around a bunch of times at 8 years old. So I remember seeing most of this, but not seeing it all the way. It was more of like a nostalgic viewing, I guess. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so it technically kind of felt like I was watching this for the first time, even though I do remember. It's so hard not to remember the reanimation of the monkey
The monkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
then
effects are really good.
I
Seeing the
mean like the
body get
CGI
reassembled visually.
and then also the what I have as my background image tonight, like his sort of skin like
His latex
latex, you
face.
know,
Yeah.
Mask.
in the
Yeah.
hands. It's a very iconic looking
Mhm.
image, like and also we know this as the Blockbuster generation, or the last remnants of the Blockbuster generation, the three of us in our generation, the Blockbuster video of like shoe and bacon and then that blue
Yeah.
box, like it's so like grab me off the shelf and play me, you know. It has to,
Yeah.
and
I
so
actually think you just kind of triggered another memory for me, though, is that another touchstone of this movie for me is I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day when AMC
oh yeah.
used to run a show when they were still like on classic movies called Cinema Secrets,
Yeah, I remember Cinema Secrets.
hosted by Stan Winston. It was like a
Hmm.
half-hour show where they talked about like movie effects and all of that.
Hmm.
And I remember Hollow Man being featured in one of
I
those
don't
when
remember
they were
that
talking
one,
That makes
about it.
sense.
Yeah.
but it totally makes sense. Yeah. And we used to like have things to like HBO used to do that too, where they would show you something like a like 30 minutes to like get you prepared for the movie that was coming up, and
Oh
or,
yeah.
or like
Cinema
not even
Secrets.
on their channel, like in theaters in a couple of weeks or whatever. Like we used to be able to
The
like
first
proper,
look, yeah.
yeah, the first looks. They were always good stuff, you know,
Oh,
and a
yeah.
good stuff behind the scenes to be able to see stuff that, you know, because we didn't have the internet. That was the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had the internet, but we didn't have it the way we did. We didn't have YouTube and all this shit now where featurettes are just put
Movie
online.
trailers weren't getting 700 million YouTube.
No. Well, and also
No.
too, like you had to go to the theater to
Right.
see a trailer. That's why, like,
Or wait 2 hours for the QuickTime file to
yeah,
download.
exactly.
I am so anti-trailer at this point in my life. I
Well,
hate them.
there's only one person now I think I really give a shit about seeing a trailer for.
Well, you're a Nolan simp now.
Well, I think he's doing it the way that nostalgically we used to grow up on it. We would get a trailer a year in advance and we get a poster and then we wouldn't see anything for like 6 to 8 months and then we get one more and
I mean, there will be a
then you go
big
see the
old
movie.
honkin' Odyssey trailer eventually.
Yeah. I mean, there will
In
be
the
a bigger
winter.
one. Yeah, in the winter. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're not going to, but he's not going to give you anything more than that, which I think what a lot of people should do more. And even still, he gives you less than more. Like he gives you like a 2 minute trailer and then he gives you a 3 hour movie. So I don't know. I remember just when we talked about this with Lord of the Rings, Jay, I just remember people were so excited to see the trailer for the next Lord of the Rings. And you know, and
Hmm.
you didn't know when that was coming, but it could have been any
The
movie during
trailer,
the summer.
the one trailer.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And people were like so excited to see it because, like, to Josh's point, seeing it on the big screen, that was the best way to see it clear rather than on a file. I mean, the Phantom Menace trailer was so huge and important for people because, you know, it was like, oh my God, this is actually, it was for a lot of people, this is actually real. Like if you weren't in the know.
Yeah, whatever movie that was attached to it, like raised its box office.
Exactly.
Because it was there. I can't remember which movie it was.
But anyway, but
I feel like we've seen about half of Fantastic Four in clips.
That movie looks rough.
I think it looks kind of bad.
Yeah,
it was a Fantastic Four movie. Like
that's true. The other two, I mean,
for them to try.
Jay, have you seen the other 3 Fantastic Four movies?
Yeah, I have.
All 3 of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Fan 4 Stick,
which is not a real movie.
Do you?
It's pretty.
I mean, that movie. I still don't blame Josh Trank for that.
That one feels compromised for sure.
Yeah, that one.
It gets kind of interesting when it turns into a Cronenberg horror movie for just like half a second, but then it abandons that into something just.
Well, R.I.P. to Dr. Doom. What was the
Toby Kebbell?
Yeah.
No,
talking about Julian McMahon.
The one who just passed away.
Julian McMahon. Oh, I thought you were talking because he was talking about the other one. Yes,
no, the other one
passed away. I always remember him from Nip Tuck.
Yeah, never watched Nip
another
Tuck.
show I should not have watched when I was.
Was that a TNT or was that an FX?
It was an FX.
That was
and
FX.
They had Jay.
FX.
They had the movies.
They had the movies.
Yeah, exactly.
They did. I remember back then.
I don't know if you guys remember that or not. They had.
I do remember that. Yeah.
The movies. Yeah. And their movies consisted of X2 and the Italian Job remake with
they
Mark
loved
Wahlberg.
that one.
They loved that one.
Charlize.
Oh my God. Remember when Mini Coopers were like coming back and it was all because of that? That was literally an ad for the auto industry, like straight up.
That was like Reese's.
It's a good movie though. No, F. Gary Gray
for Mini Coopers,
right? If I'm not
mistaken.
That was F. Gary Gray. Yep.
Yeah, that is also like if
Never
The Closer is a show that reminds me of like one particular network. The Italian Job remake is my go-to for it actually is my go-to for the Dollar Theater.
Oh, that's fair. The Dollar Theater, I always thought it was The Mummy Returns. Because that stayed in the Dollar Theater for like a year, it felt like. Because people down here just love The Mummy Returns. They got to
I just want to say, under my breath, I said Gary Gray sarcastically. I said he's never made a bad movie. He's made so many bad movies.
He made. What was the last thing he did?
Was
it the Fast and Furious movie?
No,
but like he's got
Lift, the Netflix Kevin Hart.
Oh,
was that a heist movie?
I think so. I think I did see that actually.
Is that about something in his shoes?
Well, right before that, he did.
See, I'm getting Josh tonight. What is it? I'm the funny one tonight. What?
Right before that, he did Men in Black International, so he was on a heater.
Didn't he do The Fate of the Furious?
He did The Fate of the Furious. Straight Outta Compton, of course, which was kind of like a real boon for him.
Man, I feel like really bad for him with Straight Outta Compton because he didn't get it. I mean, the white writers got the credit and not him.
All 4 of them, like 4 white.
That's so crazy that 4 white people wrote that Wikipedia script.
It is insane that is the only Oscar nomination that movie gets. Like the only thing that would have been funnier is if Paul Giamatti had been nominated for supporting actor.
And those were the 2. It's very.
If those were the 2 nominations it got. That would have been.
At least we do the right thing. They got him spike a screenplay nomination for Christ's sake. Like poor F. They couldn't even get him maybe an add-in writing credit or something.
Yeah, no.
He's going back to Last Friday next. It looks like.
Are they still making Friday movies?
Are they still threatening that?
It does not have a dedicated Wikipedia page, but it is still listed on his personal Wikipedia.
Josh choosing violence there. He's like,
so
they're
we'll
still
see.
threatening
I don't know. Who knows? Lift.
Are you looking forward to Last Friday?
You don't know. You never know. No. You know what I'm looking forward to? Any studio comedy that comes out in a theater, because they don't come out in theaters anymore.
Oh, we got Naked Gun.
I'll tell you what I'm all in on.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
Yeah.
I'm in on it too. We needed to succeed. It needed to be good too.
Those Lonely Island guys, they're
because because I'm gonna say this, I've never been like a fan of some of the films, but Sandler being totally with Netflix has ruined the idea of comedies from the studios because they can just make those movies so cheap now.
Stink, though.
I know they stink, but they made money. That's the thing. Yeah. You know, the Jurassic World movies stink, but they make money to keep the engines going.
Well, sure.
You know
I'm
what I
gonna do
mean?
a Naked Gun full rewatch. I'm
Have
gonna
you ever
rewatch
seen
all
them?
of them. Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Josh, you
I'm
seen
gonna do
them?
them again.
I remember seeing the first two, I think. I don't know if I've seen the
Third
third
one's all
one.
right, but they're all pretty good. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. That's what
far
I heard.
worse
That's the
movies I've
one
seen.
not from Zucker.
I
The
think
third
so.
one I think was not a Zucker.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's still like solid, like B minus stuff. But like the first two are great.
Oh yeah, that's
And,
Peter
Yeah.
Siegel who did who did Tommy Boy,
yeah, he's all right. It's like
Mm.
an all right
50
replacement.
First Dates, Anger Management,
Anger
a
management.
classic,
Anger management. That's a rough movie.
The Longest Yard
But
remake,
anyway, Hollow Man.
Hollow
So
Man,
I rewatched this and
Naked Gun
I told the story.
2
Oh, God
made
damn it.
more money than Hollow Man.
There you
That's
go.
kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah. But anyway, I've seen Hollow Man now for this podcast, thank God.
Hmm.
And the effects rule. I thought some of the sound design actually worked really well too.
I love when he
And
gets splatted down as a muscle man, and it just
yeah,
sounds like chucking down a hunk of meat. I did notice that sound design wise.
I still think that I swear, like the effects in the movie are completely still terrifying. The idea of like the muscles
Most of
and the
them are still
bones,
really
and
good.
they're
Yeah.
so really good. Um, the movie then in the middle of this movie becomes absolutely demented. Everybody in this movie is
I mean, the second he becomes invisible, he
he's
just goes
like
full
let
horny mode.
yeah,
Yeah.
for like a person he a couple of minutes before was like, I hate her. And then he's like, let me
But she is a lady.
exactly, but she's a woman and I have needs. Let me
That's
test those
literally
limits.
it. There's
That's
nothing
literally
else
it.
attractive about this person to him other
And
than her anatomy.
I just literally started as I mean, Jay is absolutely right. The main threshold of this movie is about consent. And obviously because like it's an invisible guy taking things to the absolutely disgusting limit.
Which is why I do think it is kind of like Paul Verhoeven's ultimate worldview. Just
Yeah,
like give a man an inch, he'll take 500 miles.
exactly. And so I thought that that was pretty interesting. I think the movie then turns into the monster movie that it's aspiring to be. And it ends on a quite graphic, violent, wild ride by the end that I don't know if it tonally works with the rest, but it's still like far more interesting of an exercise as an action film by the end, and also pretty cool with some of the effects of how like like when Brolin has to use the fire extinguisher to get him out, or the rain sequence. It's like the CGI at the end of it actually really works. It's schlocky fun by the end, but it does have a lot to say about consuming power and tech bros in a lot of ways too, and how that culture has risen over the last many years. And so in that aspect, I think that it's it's not foretelling anything, but it is still relevant. But to your point, Jay, it is a movie that isn't as sharp as the other Verhoeven films that we've talked about
No,
recently.
not as much a point of view.
Not as much by the end, I think. And I think that it's two movies at once, and one of them's more interesting than the other. The commentary is more interesting, and I kind of wish that there was more to that. But then the action film, sci-fi, horror spectacle is just a fun film, and I think that that's kind of the thing. Like, well, you were talking about, Josh, that people have with Starship Troopers. I think you're right. I think a lot of people have turned around and started seeing the commentary, because there's a lot of it inside almost every frame in that film.
Yep.
And this one, unfortunately, doesn't have that all the way through. And I kind of wish it did, but I still had a lot of fun with it. I had more fun with it than Jay. And maybe that's nostalgia. But it also felt like, once again, weirdly, and I say this a lot with Verhoeven, I say this a lot on this podcast, but weirdly felt like just like a relic of a movie that would never get greenlit in a million years. But also just not the way that they would want to make an Invisible Man sort of film. Like we saw that a couple of years ago, right during the pandemic, of how they would how we would do it. And honestly, that was a really interesting way of doing that too. And I think that commentary sticks a little bit more than this,
A
but
little
this is
bit,
but
yeah.
this stylistically is a lot more interesting than that. That's just more of a straight up horror film
Yeah,
in that
well, the
aspect.
new Invisible Man that came out in 2020, I feel like has the opposite issue where I think that movie actually has maybe a little too much commentary and is
Yeah.
trying too much to be
It's a little
like,
too
Yeah.
serious.
I think
here
that
is the
movie is
metaphor, you know.
significantly better than this movie.
You
But
do. Okay.
yeah.
I think that one probably has a better story to it, but I like that maybe not quite as
Did you
much
guys
more.
see The Wolfman this year?
Yes, that was bad.
Have not seen it.
That was just a boring movie.
Heard
it's
it's
like the same
boring.
thing, right?
Yeah, that's what
Like
I've
they
heard. It's boring.
but it's from what is it? Lee Winnell, is that
Did
what
Lee
his name is?
Yeah,
Winnell
it's leaving
direct that
now.
one?
And
Oh,
so
Yeah.
that's
like
disappointing.
he went from the
I
Invisible
think
Man
Lee
and all
Winnell
the
is very talented.
to that, right?
He did
Because
Yeah.
Upgrade, right?
can you do Upgrade?
Yes, he did. Upgrade is good.
We
That's
love
an
Upgrade.
that's an interesting little film too, and
Yeah.
mean by the end. I like that movie.
Oh yeah, I love the ending to Upgrade.
Really, kind of like weirdly in the vibe of this, like you know what I mean. Like he's got a little of the. He's not full Verhoeven. He's not full sicko mode, but he's got a little. He's got a
It
little
is,
bit of a
but
twisted
interestingly,
edge.
even though Upgrade was made many, many years later, this probably cost 10 times what Upgrade cost to make.
That is true. But anyway, you were going to say something, Josh. I'm sorry.
Well, I think that as much as I do like this movie, you know, for at least what it is, I'm not saying it's a masterpiece or anything, but I think it
I
does
don't
have
know.
exactly. I do think it has one fundamental flaw though that really kind of crystallized for me when I was watching it just recently. And I think it is that the Kevin Bacon character, Sebastian Kane, is immediately shown to be
Immediately.
like yes, he is a horrible person full of ego, which it is okay in a sense, but I think the bigger problem is that this is a guy who basically right out the gate is behaving like a rock star. And I just don't think that that is the note that you want to begin this character
Agreed.
with.
I agree with you, Josh.
He never reads like a scientist to me. He never actually reads like somebody who is that intelligent and
He
that you
never
would
feels
respect for
corrupted.
that. Exactly. And that to
Yeah.
me is always the point of the story of the Invisible Man is that it is a tale about a person who understands that they now have this power and the things that were within them now get amplified. All of the terrible things that they really wanted to do can now they can just do them so freely. And when the movie starts, as you know, Jay, you mentioned, he's already leering at somebody out of his window, and it's like, I don't think being invisible was the thing to like jumpstart you into doing this. I feel like you've already been this creeper for many, many years now. And I feel like the movie's decision to make him such an unlikable egotist right off the bat, who
Hmm.
but who behaves like this elevated person already just doesn't really seem right. And I think that evolution then always feels kind of weird and awkwardly executed because I don't think the development of that character is ever really put in the right place to begin with.
I
He's
totally.
Tony Stark meets a porn director, a porn producer.
But at least you
Uh,
understand what makes Tony Stark like smart. Like you at least see him in
There's this.
practice being a good scientist.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, he dominates that computer game where he proves cohesion. So
Yeah.
the science in this film is hilarious. The
Oh,
visualization
yeah.
of science is
Imagine
so funny.
if your boss just called you when you were in bed in the middle of the night and just FaceTimed you and was like, "Hey, who's in your bed right now?"
But imagine
And
if you could just be like, computer program, tell me, is this scientific theory correct? Yes.
and
This was
then
very early AI. This is
very
basically one of the main characters in this film is Grok, in fact.
Grok or Gronk.
That's what the
Is it Gronk or
Twitter
Grok?
thing
It's
is.
the
Grok,
Twitter
right?
AI.
Grok.
Is it
Yeah.
Grok? Okay, because it sounded like Gronk.
That Elon Musk, he knows how to name things in a way that is fun to say.
You ever heard him like try to like explain that last kid that he had with all the symbols and shit in their name?
Yeah, he's doing great.
That, I'm just going to tell you right now, that child's going to grow up and want to punch that man in the face for getting, because he's going to
Well,
get, that child's going to get beat up a lot on the playground, is what I'm saying.
hey, well,
Just saying.
he's gonna have a nice amount of money in his bank account for the rest of his
Sure.
life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
You change your name whenever you want.
XY Sigma, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He'll be just fine.
And like, and then it's like the name's Peace or some bullshit like that. And you're like, what? That doesn't even add up. That doesn't even make sense. Anyway. Yeah, Josh, he's always been a full sicko, Bacon's character in this movie. And honestly, I kind of, the moment I realized, oh shit, yeah, this movie is going to be, he's going to be an absolutely disgusting human being when he's invisible. He's only walking in to the surgery and he tells that really nasty joke.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like a joke
Oh,
that
the
Jay would,
Superman joke.
yeah, like Jay would have said that joke like 15 minutes ago on this podcast and it wouldn't have landed.
I
You know
did.
what I
I
mean?
said something very similar before the episode started.
And we actually did record that, Jay. So we're
Bad joke, too.
It's a horrible joke written
not
into
good.
this movie.
Not
It's
funny.
not good. I remember
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was like, and I'm not gonna repeat most of that here because it's terrible. But I sure remember watching me like, oh my god. So this to your point, Jay, this is what it must be like to be around a billionaire who thinks they're funny, but have lost complete reality of of what is.
Oh, well, that is
actually
kind of what it is.
appropriate,
A guy
you
who
know?
is so clearly brilliant. He's so brilliant that he can just do whatever he wants because he is the driving force of all of this research.
It's like that line in Oppenheimer when he says, brilliance can get you away with a lot of things. And
Brilliance can only get you so far.
exactly. And you're like watching this and you're like, well, clearly brilliance can get you a girlfriend, but you can't keep it. You can be an absolute sexist pig, but you could also solve this equation that nobody else can as well too, and be the smartest person on the planet. It was basically like watching Mark Zuckerberg come to life before Zuckerberg was a thing. And even still, though, Zuckerberg is more aware of his assholery. This guy is so like, at times it feels like he's oblivious to it,
Brian
but he also,
De Palma villain.
but he also
is
feels like
what he
straight up
is.
like, I feel unbeatable, and therefore I can get away and say whatever I want because the world around
But also,
me is still
if
going
you
to give
are
me
invisible, you kind of are unbeatable.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, like, but to Josh's point, he even before he's invisible feels like that. So
Yes.
there's no humbling.
I certainly never rooted for Sebastian. I was never like, this guy's
Sure.
cool. I hope that he gets what he wants.
You sure?
Or even see him as like a tragic figure in some
Right.
light, because that's also
Because like when
an
he
avenue that people
turns,
go
That's
with.
the Invisible Man.
it
arc.
just seems like
Yeah.
I mean, like when he turns by the
you
end
had
of
it
this,
coming,
you're like,
bro.
you're like, well, of course he's going to turn like that because he's already an asshole. If you don't give him what he wants, he's going to be
Yeah.
the biggest dick on the planet.
No, it's almost like I wish if you were a nicer guy, science might have been kinder to you. Like I just feel like the natural order of things would have just gone your way
Yeah.
more.
The real
I just
problem,
feel like he just does not read as a scientist to me is my big
Who, Bacon?
thing. Like yeah, there's never a moment where I feel like he would be looked at as like a very revered scientific mind. And this is going to sound so weird to
Say it.
mention this as an example, but you talk about the moment when he's going into the operating room when he's about to get the injection, and he disrobes and makes the joke about being naked and all that, but he has a tan line on his butt. I just cannot imagine a scientist would be so vain that he's going out and tanning himself. Like, and it's a small detail, I grant you.
You think
but
he would
here's one
have
of those-
a vest, like a smock line?
Yeah, well, it just feels like that is something that I don't feel
smock
like
line?
reads as like what a scientist would do for themselves, And it's like it's a very small detail, probably just because Kevin Bacon had it and they just didn't bother to put makeup on him. But
This
it's
was
like one
primo
of those things.
tanning bed era, though.
Sure, but do you think a scientist in this
that guy,
space would do that? I don't
that guy
know.
seems vain enough to do it.
But I don't know. It just to me,
I don't know,
It
like,
reads as like somebody. Who,
Actually,
yes,
I would
is
argue
vain.
that's an interesting detail, kind of.
It's
Something
really-
I didn't notice.
It really is interesting too because it's like
But the whole thing about his character is that he's so work obsessed, he never leaves his apartment or
That's why his
between
relationship with
the
Elizabeth Shue fell
office
apart.
and
Yeah.
home. He literally has a thing on the ceiling that says, keep working or something.
Yeah. Like just keep
Like
on,
you
keep it
should
on.
be working,
You should be
something
working.
like
Anytime
that.
he has an
Yeah.
impulse to do something other than work, he has to remind himself that he should be working.
Yeah.
And like I'm not saying that like this character can't be boisterous and narcissistic and egotistical and all that, or like even in shape. Like I don't take issue with any of that, but there's something about the persona that he puts out there that just feels more like he is not really a part of the group as I think he should be. He doesn't
Sort of like
feel,
Chris Hemsworth being the jacked hacker.
yeah. It just doesn't work for me.
Hey. You leave Black Cat alone.
It's a masterpiece.
Don't start.
I love
Don't
Black
start
Hat,
today.
but
None of that. We don't have none of that on this
he's
show.
a jacked hacker. Let him be
Yeah.
a jacked hacker.
Yes.
Who's to say you couldn't be a jacked hacker? Who's to say you couldn't go to a tanning bed and change and win a Nobel Prize?
I don't know. He doesn't.
Sure.
If he can go to a tanning bed, then it doesn't make sense why he couldn't go across the street, see that woman, and if he's
Well, I'll give
super
you
smart,
the counter example in this movie is Josh Brolin. Like obviously Josh Brolin, very attractive,
Hot
very
nerd.
first seen this movie.
Yeah, who'd have never thought? I totally forgot about that. By the way, that Brolin was in this, and he was playing essentially
His
like the
career
eye
is
candy.
is weird. Yeah,
We'll talk about Brolin
He
here
was
in a
kind of
minute.
at this point, kind of pigeonholed as like doofus.
Yeah, I mean, but hot
I could-
doofus. It seemed like
But that's the
He's a
thing
hot
is like
doofus.
obviously he is extremely attractive in this movie, but I completely buy him as like a hot nerdy scientist.
no, because
He
he's
still
got something like
in that realm.
he's got some like grounded. Like this is what always has made Brolin such a great actor. It's like yes, he's a fucking nepo baby and everything, but he's got a look to him that's like a little bit like I've worked hard to get here. I may have some good looks, but those aren't the qualities that you actually think about first. About me, I had to work to get here, to get to not only this job but to these looks. It wasn't like with Sebastian. Like clearly, it just felt like he was made in a lab, literally. Like Kevin Bacon always has looked like just a pretty boy, always has,
Yeah.
and he's had to fight uphill throughout his career to get past that maybe. But he's also leaned into it as well too. Brolin's never played the pretty boy. He's never been like the guy.
I
you
mean,
think
even
of.
in the Goonies, he was kind of like the pretty boy bully.
Yeah, exactly.
thing.
He's never like
Yeah,
he's never like when you think of pretty men, you're never putting Josh Brolin at the top of your list in this era, in the past, whatever. You know what I mean?
Not at the very top. Like
No.
I feel like what Sebastian Cain needed to be is sort of like Jeffrey Combs in The Reanimator. I forget what that character's name is, but like that main scientist character in that movie,
Like a true nerd, an
Yeah, who
obsessive
is-
nerd.
who is in that story very self-centered, very narcissistic, but still feels like an authentic representation of somebody who would be knee deep in scientific research. And I feel like the directive here was just to make Sebastian Cain a monster right out the gate, so that justifies where the rest of the movie is going to go. It feels like a decision for that. And it's to get to the finale of the movie and not really appropriate for the character, I find. And that to me is the fatal flaw with this movie because it all revolves around this character. And he feels so distasteful right off the bat that I don't ever really invest in the larger commentary that is surrounding him. It just feels like a means to an end to get to the schlocky third act, which I don't mind on its own. Like I agree with you, Ryan. I think it is actually kind of fun, but you do trade off more interesting commentary because of that decision.
Can we talk about one character that we haven't mentioned yet, and it's such a key point to this movie as to why?
Well, Josh
It's-
wanted the
it's-
beautiful mind. He wanted Russell Crowe, John Nash.
I don't know.
in
I
the
kind
lead
of.
here.
I mean, Bacon's not far off. There's, or maybe he is far off. I don't know. I think
I mean, I think
he's-
the more
he's too
I
pretty.
do think the more effective commentary is this guy seems fairly mild mannered, and his innate horniness takes over the second that he.
Well, it's very
gains
like
this, as opposed to like, yeah, this dude is obviously a pervert from the beginning, and then this only further establishes.
well, it's kind of like the Nutty Professor, weirdly enough.
Yes, that's
Where
exactly what Verhoeven was going for.
no,
He
I'm
said he
just
wanted this to
Well,
be
but it's
his
like if
nutty
Buddy Love
professor.
was always there, though.
exactly right. It
That's
was
true.
that
There's no alter ego.
there's
It's
no
just
alter
Yeah.
ego. He's
yeah,
always been a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like inside
yeah.
out from the moment you see him. But no, I mean the character
But
that
it's
I
also
think
something to kind of admire about that and just be like, these guys are what they are from the beginning. Like
yeah,
Oh, it's
there's
totally
you know,
blunt. Yes.
but I mean
yeah,
that's the thing is like in this Verhoeven is I think using the Invisible Man in that story to subvert that because usually on that go round we're with that character, that person going through it, and that rise and fall. We're seeing it through their perspective. Really, the focal point of this movie is through Linda. Like she's the real main character. I mean, Elizabeth Shue is top billed. This movie's
Above
supposed,
Kevin Bacon,
which
which
is
is
crazy.
I was shocked to
I was
see
that
shocked
is
about
that.
that.
crazy. I
But
think Elizabeth Shue is pretty good in this,
I
by
think
the way.
she's good. I just think
Yeah.
that some of the writing, I wish it
Oh, the
would.
script kind of stinks,
It stinks and it
to
doesn't
be
do her
clear.
favor. She's doing the best she can with a. I think he's
I
very
like Elizabeth Shue.
developed, but
Crush.
I think that she's not given enough to really dabble
Nobody
into
is.
other nobody. Well, yeah, nobody really is, Jay. But I think that the point is, it's like I honestly don't give a shit about anybody else. Like they should have focused on giving her more to do and say, and that's really weird because like Verhoeven is known to give us some really interesting female characters inside his films, very layered characters that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks. And this movie is it lives and dies kind of by Shu, who gives a good performance in a character that's very poorly written
Yeah.
and not given nearly the amount of details as they're trying to give everything else that's around her, including the male lead of this movie that even as we're talking, like he's one note, but they're at least trying to flesh out that one note as much as they can with its commentary. She's given nothing more than we used to be an ex. He has feelings for her. She dates another guy, and that kind of turns him on his head. Like, and she's been sort of haunted by some of, just like the rest of these women in this movie, by the invisible actions of Sebastian throughout. And she's the one that morally feels connected to it the most. But yet she's also part of it because she's egged him on in such a way to go past to the human trials. And Matt's the only one that's like, or along with everybody else being just like, don't fucking do it. And so we should see a kind of maybe a little bit more of like guilt of that full on with Sebastian. Like maybe Sebastian's not going to feel guilty about gaining this power, but we should have probably seen maybe Linda have a little bit more of that. And that would have been fleshing out that character. It's just not there. Maybe
You could have
that,
tapped more into like her own lust for power
yeah.
and recognition as well. Like, I mean, we're talking about then a movie that would have been much more better written and not
Yes.
the like studio junk that this is. And I recognize like what that character is supposed to be. And I think that she does the best with it. I actually do like the chemistry she has with Kevin Bacon in this movie.
No,
I
they work
think that
well
they're
together. They're really
yeah,
good
and
together.
that like adversarial kind of connection between them, I do really like that. Grading on a curve for what kind of a movie it is for sure, but I think that she does enough with this character that yeah, is not there's not a whole lot on the page for her to do, but I like her presence. I like the chemistry that she shares with all of the actors really. And I think that for the role that it is and what it needs to accomplish, I think she does a fine job.
I mean, I think the biggest problem with this movie, if there's something you could say about RoboCop, specifically RoboCop, Basic Instinct, Showgirls, and Starship Troopers, they are written by writers with a distinct point of view. And I think you could also argue that even though Total Recall was a little more screenwriter by committee, these are guys who like co-created Alien and wrote Big Trouble in Little China. These are people who had distinct voices. Hollow Man does not have that. And so I don't think Paul Verhoeven is able to overcome that hurdle with this particular film because it does feel a little anonymous in ways that none, however successful or unsuccessful you think his other Hollywood movies were, they don't feel anonymous. And this one feels, if you weren't paying attention to who directed this movie, you could be like, oh, well, this is just like some throwaway piece of Hollywood junk, which is unfortunate.
Where is she?
Now,
Yeah, like where is she?
well, she's a woman who hit 45,
Well,
so
I
they
understand
kind
that.
of.
I understand that, James. Thank you very much. But I'm just saying, like, that doesn't mean like she. It just feels like we don't see her anything
I think
anymore.
she's a great
Even
talent. She's still only 61.
yeah,
She could be doing good work.
she's got a great
I
presence.
like her.
I always
But
liked
this
her.
this this movie kind of killed her though.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like right. It's like it kind of. I feel like that's the case with a lot of Verhoeven films
She
over the
was
last couple of
36
weeks.
or
Is that
37 when this movie came out.
yeah, Berkeley Richardson Shue got like
She
the
was
brunt
also,
of the
she
blame.
was on
You know,
CSI. She
yeah,
made more money off of that than
probably any of
anything
us
other
ever
than
will.
Back to the
Yeah,
Future, probably.
yeah. Um, but
She
I
was in
just.
Greyhound.
Oh, did you see
And
Jay? You seen Greyhound?
Loved Greyhound.
Yeah. How was she in that?
That was when I knew I was ready to be a dad. It was when I was like, Greyhound rocks.
I'm
He,
assuming she's Tom Hanks's wife.
Josh, you're not going to believe this? You're correct.
Yeah, she is the
Jay,
wife.
which one
Yeah,
did you like more,
Because I
Greyhound?
believe her character's name was Wife
yeah.
with a capital W.
Jay, which one did you like more from Apple from the Tom Hanks era? Did you like Greyhound? What was the other one that they
No,
had
Finch.
on?
I mean,
Finch.
Finch is a masterpiece.
Or what about News of the World? Did you like
I
that
didn't
one
like
too?
News of the World.
You
I
didn't like that one?
That's my far and away my least favorite.
I know we did like a couple weeks ago from the time
Finch
of
made me
recording.
bawl like a toddler.
Jay, we
just
did
like destroyed me.
we did a director stock market draft recently.
We did.
Paul Greengrass. I know he's over 50, so we can talk about. But
Yeah, what's he
Gotta
got? He's got something.
he's got that bus movie with
That
McConaughey
bus
coming
movie.
out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God,
What
that
if there
thing looks
was
so
a
stupid.
bus? Yeah.
God, yeah. What if
Isn't
bus?
Jamie Lee Curtis a producer on it too?
Yes,
Well,
Josh.
thank
Thank you for
God.
reminding us that Jamie Lee Curtis will once again be in the
The
awards
Lost
race.
Bus.
The Lost America Ferrera as well.
And McConaughey, right?
Jason
Yeah.
Blum is a producer on it.
Oh man, Jason Blum's gonna have fucking Jamie Lee
This is
Curtis
interesting.
everywhere.
Oh, this is an Apple movie as
Because
well.
isn't it
they're in
about
the-
like
they're
a-
in the green grass business?
Isn't it about a guy with a bus who's going to save a bunch of kids in a fire in
Something like that,
in like
yeah.
California or something like that?
Well, of course, it is based on the 2021 book Paradise: One Town Struggle to Survive an American Wildfire by Lizzie Johnson.
Thank you, Jay. And of course, that means Jamie Lee Curtis will make the wildfires from earlier this year about herself in this Oscar campaign. Correct?
This is
Safe
not,
assumption.
I would say, my most anticipated movie of the year.
What do you? Where is Greengrass? What is he doing? He used to make some really good movies, and now it
And then
seems like
Green
he's making
Zone happened, and
Green
then
Zone, and then and after that it was
That's
News of the
actually
World,
a good
right?
point. I have not liked a Paul Greengrass movie in almost 20 years.
Since what? Born Ultimatum.
Ultimatum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, because he did Jason Bourne.
Yeah,
22 July was almost something.
Which one's
I don't like that
Which
movie.
one's 22 July?
That's the one
oh,
about the
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 right
mass shooter?
wing conservative guy.
Yeah, I hated that
the
movie.
I
Norway.
didn't like that movie.
Yeah.
What a just a dour piece of cinema. Jay, that's what you would
I didn't
call.
like that.
I don't remember you liking that, Jay, that much because it's
No, I didn't like it. I was like,
Very
there's
misery porn.
Something here. Yeah.
I mean, it's shot well. I mean, but that's
No, I
mean,
do remember. I do remember seeing that. Right. I think you and I might have actually talked about that movie.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so. But I remember.
But I
He's
think
shot like
I
all
think
his
that
other
was
movies.
my opinion
That's
of it. Was
fair.
just like, oh, this is just.
well, he knows how to
absolutely
shoot a movie,
miserable.
Josh. He really he's got a great eye.
But the problem is, he shoots that movie like it's a Bourne movie.
yeah, and that movie should
and-
not. That should be more
No.
And
traditional.
that feels kind of
Yeah.
exploitative.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would argue the Bourne movie shouldn't look like that either, but that's just
Hey,
Hey.
I'm sorry. I get motion sickness when I'm watching.
That's
Bourne
fair.
movies.
No, you know what? That's
I gave 22 July 2 stars on Letterboxd when it came out.
What did I give it? You can see mine.
I said, I don't
I think
think
that's
Greengrass should have
appropriate.
made this film.
Jay, what did I
His
give it?
objective style makes the whole thing feel a bit uncomfortable and aimless.
Everyone's like, what did Ryan give 22 July? Jay, can you see
oh
from
my
my
God,
face?
you gave it 4.5 stars?
God damn it. Son of a bitch.
No, you gave it 2 stars as well.
Thank you. And
That is also what I gave it.
there we go. Look at
Wow.
us consensus around here.
Wow.
Josh, Who do you think the taste between the two of us you align with the most, Jay or myself? You're not gonna hurt anybody's feelings here.
You know what? If I'm going to be completely honest, I think it's Jay.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
fair. Well, Josh, say where they can find you because you're out of here.
Better taste.
That's fine. No, but when Josh and I we do mostly kind of vibe on stuff.
Yeah,
But
I don't
when
think it's that different.
Oh no, I liked Captain Phillips. I liked Captain Phillips.
Oh, that's right, Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
I
movie.
liked Captain Phillips.
Good, solid flick. I wish we got more movies like. See, because I think he works better in like thrillers, and
Yeah, but studios don't make movies like that anymore.
yeah,
it
they just
feels
don't like that, right? And that's only like 10 years ago.
I know.
And you're like, where's and that movie made money
Yeah.
too. I remember seeing it in a packed theater
218 mil.
on a what budget, Jay?
55.
That's
But
good.
that's the thing
Yeah.
that doesn't happen anymore is a $55 million budget.
Yeah. Well, it's got to work if you got Tom Hanks. That's going to help.
I mean that.
But then again,
so
that's where
much
Finch
anymore,
and Greyhound go. They go to the streaming
Yeah.
platform.
Right, exactly.
You know, what's Hanks doing right now? What's he got going on?
I love him,
Well, he's doing Toy Story 5,
of course.
obviously.
Yeah.
He was
and
just
then-
in the film Phoenician Scheme.
That's right. Oh, that's right. He was very
Right,
good.
He was in that. Yeah.
He was in that for like 5 seconds. He's really good. He's
still
very
haven't seen
funny.
it, so.
Very funny. I like it. I know Josh is a little bit less.
He also
on it than
did
I am.
the Great
That
Film
scene is
Theater.
good though.
Yeah, it's really good. Like the way Cranston dribbles the ball, howling.
Well,
What
and
are you
also
saying?
that scene has
You're
Riz
saying Here
Ahmed
was great?
That's true. It has Riz Ahmed, which
here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Here, of course.
Oh, that's
Ryan
right.
was just talking about how great Here is.
no, I think here's one of the worst films of the decade. Easily.
He
I think the
I don't know.
people
I still love him.
I think the people that think here is a masterpiece are on crack. Like I swear. When I saw the people start talking about it online, they're like,
There are a
you
lot
don't
of people who
understand,
like it.
it's great. And I'm like,
There are a lot of people who like it. They mostly look like me.
yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do. They
Yeah.
do look like you. And that's it.
I'm trying to
It's
sort through that because
baffling how much it looks they look
I
like you.
hate that movie. I
Yeah.
mean, less
Yeah.
good looking versions of me, but yeah.
Right.
Josh, you didn't like it either, right?
No, I didn't care for it, but I always appreciate somebody going to bat for a movie, even if I don't like it. So it's like, you know what? If you're a defender of here, I'll
Just
hear the
wanna-
take. I don't agree with it probably, but I'm always in support of people sticking up for movies that are universally hated. Because I've been in that boat. We've all been in that boat, where we like something that the consensus hates, and so I want to support that person's journey, even if I'm not on it myself.
I gotta tell you, that's a journey I can't go with you on. If you're on
I
it's
think
a
that
5 out of
movie
5
is
masterpiece.
actually incompetent.
Yeah. But I also just think Robert Zemeckis is incompetent at this point. Probably
I think that is a movie that definitively proves that he just doesn't have the sauce anymore. I think that it's done.
he lost it a long time
What's he
ago.
doing next?
I don't know. That movie didn't make any money, and it probably cost a
It did not.
shit ton, right? How much
Although
did it
I
cost
feel
to
like
make?
that's a movie
50 mil.
that-
50
Well,
mil?
this is a good return. It cost 50 and made 16.
But I think that's actually a movie that sneakily did well on VOD.
No
Might
way.
have with the boom.
No one's talking about it.
I kind of feel like it did.
I tell you this, my parents would have asked about it because they watch a ton of shit on VOD, and they're always like, "Hey, did you see this one, that one?" They never asked me about it, and that's bad because that's the demographic they're going after. If your parents haven't asked you about here, guess what? No one's watching here.
I mean, look, I'm not defending the movie that
No, it
much.
sounds
I
like
didn't
it.
like them.
Josh
I
did give
was-
it 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Yes, exactly. It was on my top 10. I was just defending people's right to love that movie. I
don't
just
have the-
think
I think
it's fine
people.
to do.
I think people started to quote unquote like it because people like me saw it and didn't like it.
Well,
and
that
there
does
was a
happen.
little.
You get
There was a little bit of
reactionary-
that. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
but like
I was
people
waiting
like
for
the
Jay to
movie-
technically be that as well.
I do
and
think
he
there
was
were
not
some
like
people because Ryan, I'll be honest. Even I went into that movie and I was like, oh boy, Zemeckis is about to do his he's about to be on his Malick shit. This is
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
crazy.
I was
And
waiting for
watched it
Jay
and
to be
was
like, I loved it.
Oh,
And,
this is like artless trash.
Yeah. Soulless.
And but a lot of
Like,
people
I get what he was going for. I also think that the whole like static camera did not feel as tedious to me as I was expecting it to. So
No, it was
I
just
feel like that was better than expected for me.
it was
but I
some of
am a
the
defender. I'm a Welcome to Marwin quasi
See, that's the
defender.
one I
So
can't do. I mean, I'm glad that you defend it, but I can't do that
we all
myself.
should have known he
I think
lost the
that movie's
sauce.
trash.
he's doing stuff for the most part, and then he does like Pinocchio and the Witches,
Oh
which is just
man,
like completely worthless.
Pinocchio is fucking
Pinocchio is
awful.
his worst movie.
Is
By
that
far.
the
I think
worst
that's his
Disney
worst.
live action remake?
No, 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 no.
You,
Um,
you think Beauty and the Beast is the worst, right?
I
Jay?
think Beauty and the Beast is the worst one.
You think
I
Pinocchio is better than Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
You got to be
I
kidding
think
me.
Pinocchio, just like pure quality wise, is the worst. But I think the one that offends me the most is still The Lion King.
Yeah, Jay, that's probably right up there. That did you watched that Snow White one this year too, right, guys?
Have not seen
Yeah,
Snow White
I
yet.
saw it.
I can't
like,
wait
it's,
though.
It's okay. I mean,
It's
well, it's not okay.
it's
It's bad. But
it's bad, but
it's
it's
bad,
not as
but-
bad as those, but it's bad.
yeah, it's so bad. But The Lion King is like just on every level is just like
So lazy.
it's
No, see,
lazy
The Lion
and-
King is one where I'm kind of like, oh, it's quasi interesting
you-
that they were like documentary style Mufasa's death.
No.
where you get the close up of little Simba who has to look so distraught that his father's just been killed,
And it's a lot like
there's
just
no
this.
But
emotion
he
because it
cannot.
just
He's
looks like a
not.
lion.
He is like
Unable to
biologically
emote.
not allowed to emote.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just
Which-
find that movie to be so cynical and soulless, and I think that is the one that creatively offends me the most out of everything that they've done.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's that scene with the cuckoo clocks in Pinocchio that is just like a bunch of Disney references in a row.
Well, not just Disney; it's also Zemeckis references too. Remember,
Yes.
because doesn't Jessica Rabbit show up in that?
She sure does.
God damn
Yeah.
it, she sure does show up.
We love him.
Like I said, quality wise, that one is worse, but
What would Zemeckis have done with
I still think Beauty and the
Lion
Beast
King
is the
bad.
worst one.
what would Zemeckis have done with Hollow Man?
Oh, he would have been great.
How
I
would
mean,
the
he
effects
loves his
look
tools. You know, Ryan, I was thinking
Yeah.
about this actually. We have covered 3 consecutive directors who love, or I mean, is it 3 or is it just 2?
Wait,
No, it's
who?
just 2.
Who?
It's Peter Jackson and Paul Verhoeven,
Okay.
who made careers basically off of their skills with effects.
Yeah.
Even though that is not Paul Verhoeven's, like the first thing I think of when I think of Paul Verhoeven, that's
Yeah.
how he got movies made.
No,
That is how this movie was made. That's how Total Recall was made. That's how Starship Troopers was made.
Which you wouldn't think of it, but you're right.
That is 100% how this movie was made.
No, I know,
it-
but
it was
you
literally
would. But it's
the
not the
executives
first
were
thing
like,
you
oh, this
come up in
script
mind.
is
Yeah.
terrible, but there's some real, you know,
There's something I
effects
can
work
do
is
here.
selling
effects
yeah.
for this. Yeah.
No, for sure. It's just like I said, Jay. It's not
But he's
the
also
first thing
really
you think.
good with effects.
This he's very good with effects. Like his movies, the effects hold up really well.
I don't know. Well, it's because he was buddies with Phil Tippett, probably is the reason.
That helps.
Yeah.
And the effects work here great. I just wish that, and it kind of gets, I think, forgotten about because, and the effects in this movie get forgotten about because it's not a good movie.
I would argue it's the legacy of the movie.
Yeah, I think it's the legacy
The
of the
effects.
freaking
As much as
main
this
character.
movie has one, that's it.
Yeah, people, because if you're like, oh, okay, well then, if the effects are that great, I'll watch it. And then I think people watch it and they go, oh shit, this character is a giant turd sandwich. Like, you know,
Well,
like
it
this
is.
guy's,
but
this guy's a real dick.
to its
You know what I mean?
credit,
But
the
it looks
reason
pretty.
that it was as rejected and probably still continues to be as rejected as it is a very off-putting movie. Which
Yeah.
that is, in my opinion, kind of the Verhoeven thing is him just being abrasive.
Yeah.
But it
But
lacks
audiences
the
love that with his other
satirical
films. Yeah.
bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It-
like
it
even
doesn't-
like even
It doesn't
like,
have a message as much. Although I still kind of contend that
no, I think you're not wrong
this is
about
kind
its
of his
message.
definitive worldview. I really think
Oh, that men are giant, like
just
sex
that if you
mongering
give
pieces of shit.
men
Yeah.
any amount of power, they will exploit it to the fullest
The
extent.
most disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that
ends,
there's no gradual evolution to that point
Or
of view.
or
No.
humor to it.
No, because you
this
just
movie.
feel incredibly uncomfortable that this guy, the first thing he would do is literally get out of his cage and go and fondle a colleague. And
But it
then-
also, as I've called Verhoeven the greatest satirist of
The modern
American
era.
pop culture of his era. He's not really satirizing anything here. He's just sort of
No.
making a movie about a pervert.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
making a movie about an American man.
He's not sending up sort of
American
American
white man.
traditional
Yeah.
stereotypes, other than the fact that, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's a very broad commentary, but even in that respect, I do find it to be at least somewhat effective in just how like chilling and disturbing it is. Like that
it
scene
is disturbing.
when Kim Dickens is being assaulted and then she wakes up and there's just that feeling that she has where nobody's in the room, but her clothes are unbuttoned. She feels so violated, but can't look directly at the person who has done it. Like that is very disturbing,
I think
and it
this.
does get that
Yeah.
point
And
across
it is
very
done
well.
in a very direct way. Like
Yeah.
she literally, like, at first it's this weird sort of, oh, well, I have this sensation, but I'm still asleep. And then he like pinches her nipple and it's like,
Yeah.
whoa. When,
I think the scene with the neighbor across the street is just as
oh, well, that's just,
that's just
you don't come back from that.
no,
Yeah.
you don't. No, you do not come
No.
back from that chair.
Yeah, that's the crossing the point of no return.
But it's like, man, the links that he will go to though to be able to just do the sickest shit. I mean, the video thing on a loop. Like in another film, let's say for example, if he was a character where you found out that the people that he worked with were actually exploiting him, right? That scene where he manipulates the monitors, right? And it's the same thing using his obviously genius brain to be able to get out of there and go and explore the real world and how he'll look. And then they're probably, in a traditional sense of the story, would have had emotional breakdown. They probably would have got captured. They would have had to, like, there would have been like a whole other element where the other people in this movie are bad guys. But Verhoeven, of course, subverts all expectations and goes the other way and goes, no, he's going to escape and he's going to inflict this sexual torture onto others and continue to have unchecked power by, essentially raping people and murdering people,
Not essentially.
or like literally doing it.
That's literally what he
You know what I mean?
More or less.
More or less. And with unchecked powers like this, unlimited power only leads to the most vile things that humanity could ever have. And that's an interesting thing until you start doing it, and then it's just disgusting to watch. And it's a complete, then, like, you're not making a horror movie anymore. You're not making a commentary. You're just making a movie that you don't, I mean, nothing's entertaining about watching any of those scenes.
That is the thing about this movie.
know,
It is not.
it makes you
even,
feel
in my
the ick,
opinion,
the entire time.
attempting to be traditionally entertaining, which
No.
was sort of what Verhoeven had gotten away with for a long time. And I would say here he sort of obviously never made another Hollywood movie again. So it's a combination of him being like, I feel like my creativity was stunted here. And also I feel like people kind of rejected what I was attempting to do. So it was sort of this double whammy of, now I'm making movies in Europe. Here I go.
Coming
Well, I
back.
think-
Bacon?
I do think also this movie kind of comes at a point that is a little bit of a turning point within Hollywood in
Yeah.
terms of the kinds of movies that they were making. And I feel like Verhoeven, for a while, was in a system that gave filmmakers the freedom to, like, okay, yeah, this is a studio movie, but you can be a little weirder with it, or you can be edgier with it, because we are in the business of still making movies for adults that will go out to see these
Yeah.
films. And Hollow Man does feel like the point when Hollywood does start to retreat from that. And in doing so, Verhoeven, it does become a man without a country, in a sense, in the Hollywood system, that his viewpoint of trying to sneak in subversive things in these properties just is no longer of interest to the studios anymore. And it does feel like Hollow Man is the beginning of the end for that. And even though I still find it to be somewhat entertaining, I do think you can feel the change in the atmosphere in terms of what Hollywood is going to do with these kinds of films, and this is more evidence to suggest that Verhoeven doesn't really have a place in that system anymore.
This movie came out in 2000. He has made 3 movies since this, all outside of Hollywood.
In 25 years, which is insane.
which is like basically semi-retired, at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or
It's
less.
almost like he went to Hollywood.
He's made a lot less movies than
They-
Malick.
He chewed him up, spit him out, made a couple of things since that we'll talk about over the next couple weeks. And then it's like, we'll see if you can get your dreams made anymore, but it's very rare. And it's so wild too, because like he is so acclaimed. His ideas are very international. You would think he would be able to get more projects done.
I'll tell you this. The European perverts loved this one. This one made
Yeah.
a lot of money overseas.
Did it? How much did it make overseas?
It made 117 overseas compared to 93 domestic.
And what was the budget total?
95. Big budget. This was a
So-
big
Yeah.
budget.
95
2000.
budget. You said 113 overseas?
117.
117.
190 total.
190 total.
So it probably broke even ish.
Yeah.
Ish. Probably
Maybe
with
skated
marketing.
by to
Probably
break
with
even.
marketing it lost a little. It didn't lose a ton, but
It was probably like right there.
yeah. That's probably like
I would imagine.
yeah, like borderline on it.
Well, the Burger King toys probably.
Yeah. But remember, this
What
also
would the
was
burger?
era-
Wait, hang on, Josh. For that thought, what would the Burger King toys be for Hollow Man?
Well, actually, I mean, there are actually some easy ideas for that. One is
Okay.
the sort of muscular skeletal gorilla.
Sort of skinless
Okay.
version.
All right, the
Yeah.
skinless version of the gorilla. All right.
I think there's an invisible man with one hand in groping position.
Well, there's two variations because you have to get one where he has all the getup and the mask, and then there's one that's just like a clear.
Yeah,
toy.
the
Okay.
latex
That's
mask.
like
Kinda
just
like
some
how they had
scrap that
on-
they pulled out from some other factory.
Like they had on like the McDonald's glasses or whatever. Like
think
when, like,
Frustrated
the Batman movies
Brolin
couldn't- Frustrated
action
Brolin,
figure, where he does
Okay.
like his hand starts here and then
and he's like shirtless.
you push a
'Cause,
button
like
and
half
his
of this
palm
movie,
goes to
half
his
this movie is
forehead.
he's shirtless.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't forget the most valuable collectible, which is William Devane.
Yeah. That's right.
The kids love character actor William Devane as an action figure.
They love him. How can he not?
And you have
Yeah.
to like put him in a pool of your own, like of your
Which, of course, the
beverage.
pool is sold separately. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pools sold separately. Or you just
Thank you
put
for
him,
William Devane, actually. He was also in.
or he's a tiny little
Space
figure,
Cowboys.
or he's a tiny little figure, Josh, and you put him in your cup. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you just, as you're drinking, William Devane's falling down to the water.
He's a clip on the side of the cup. Yeah.
That guy's got a face. He had a face for movies.
Jay, I think
Oh, yeah.
I think you're in the wrong business, buddy. I really think you should be doing toy. Like we don't have
Toys?
that. By the way, we
Well,
don't
at this
have
point,
that
we need to
anymore.
go to apps.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore. With
A
Kids Meals
Fortnite
and stuff like
Hollow
that.
Man tie-in.
oh Jesus.
Well,
Well,
Hollow
I don't.
Man's
I don't
skin.
want to. I don't want a Hollow Man skin for Fortnite. No, thank you,
Yeah.
please, for the love of God. Do you imagine what you would be on that site? You would be the most perverted gamer to ever play if you had that skin on. You're like, what does that
Or,
tell?
or,
what does that
or
tell
lack
you?
thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
The year was 2009. Jay Ledbetter was in AP US history class.
Okay. Oh, we're doing story time here.
And I'm not sure if y'all remember this event in American history. It was called Bacon's Rebellion, which was an armed rebellion led by Virginia settlers who were very upset that the governor would not allow them to drive Native Americans out of Virginia.
Okay. Which
Not
side were
chill.
you,
In my
which side would
opinion,
you have
not
been
chill.
on?
I would have been on the side of the people who said, don't push
Okay.
them out.
Okay.
Okay. I
Well,
want that on the record.
Josh, we wanted that clarity. I think it's.
But
Yeah.
I was
Also, where you got this lesson from, I was also wondering about what was the intention behind the lesson
was
what
actually-
they were trying to impart to their class.
It's actually math class. Where
this was sort of runoff from Jamestown. This was a Jamestown thing.
Wait, was like the whole quarter of your year about Jamestown?
No, this was just one particular
one lesson.
week of class. Like was early
Cool. 1 week
colonial-
on
or
Jamestown.
not
Great.
yet.
It's all we did was
early
1 week.
settlement America.
All right.
I was to give a presentation on Bacon's Rebellion. And I decided I'm going to be a little stinker.
Oh, that's right. Son of a bitch.
And so I gave a presentation on Bacon's Rebellion, and every single PowerPoint slide that I presented was all about Kevin Bacon. And this was the time, this would have been, 2009. This was like peak 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
He was kind of a meme. This was also like epic Bacon era. So I'm sure I threw some like Bacon the meat in there as well. And I got detention.
Wait a minute, really?
I got detention for my AP US history presentation on Bacon's Rebellion.
Why did you get detention?
Because it was so effective.
Wait, did they really say why you got
Because
detention?
people thought it was so funny. They said it was just like, you know.
You didn't do the assignment. You made a mockery of.
Yeah, you made a mockery
class,
of the
like,
assignment. Yeah. You had no intention of actually conveying.
Jay, did you
were being disruptive too?
Jay,
because
did
of
you-
it, too, yeah.
did you ever do the assignment also, or that was just the assignment you did?
No, that was the only presentation I gave on Bacon.
Obviously, that was
honestly-
the only thing he was going to do.
Honestly, I would have given him just a B for Bacon on that one. You know what I mean?
My
And then
teacher
just
was
called it a
so
day.
mad.
No, you got to squash that rebellion right then and there.
But she was mostly mad because it got laughs.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
if it
You
fell
were disruptive,
completely
yeah.
flat, it would have been like, you know what? You
You
were so
deserve it.
embarrassed.
You were
just given the
I'm not
failing
gonna
grade
give
and that
you
would have been it.
detention.
It would have just
Yeah.
been like the jokes at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So wait, so she got mad that you got laughs. Had you now? To be fair, Jay, I know you very well.
Uh-huh.
All right. Did you make any Kevin Bacon jokes before you did this project and sort of laid the seeds down that you were going to do this?
No.
Or this was a complete surprise?
This was out of the blue.
Okay. That's even better.
Me in high school was, if I was really engaged by something and thought
Yeah.
it was a good bit,
You're going to do it.
I would go 1,000 miles an hour.
So what's different between then and now?
Nothing.
Wait, you met your wife in college, correct?
In college, but that was when what I was doing 1,000 miles an hour was partying.
Okay. Well, you met
Yeah.
your calling.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now here I am.
How did she say yes?
Bribery, I assume.
Bribery.
I haven't talked to my parents about it, but I assume there was some sort of monetary benefit for her.
How was your in-laws when they met you at Mr. Jokester? They're like,
Well,
this is the
actually,
right person.
here's the thing. I am naturally very introverted. So you meet me for the first time, and I am very, very shy and nervous about like thinking about the implications of every word I say. And
'Cause you're
so
careful.
originally they were wondering like, is this
guy gonna talk?
what are you doing? You've got an absolute dud here. Like, what is this guy's deal? But then eventually come out of my shell and they're like, what are you doing? This guy is annoying.
Is sicko. He is Hollow Man.
And yes. And so then there's like this middle ground that I completely lack.
Okay.
You know, it's like there's this intermediate range of likability that I'm completely unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
So I'm a man of extremes.
I think I've always just been the same, but just to a lesser, meaner extent. Because I used
See, I'm kind of with you, Jay. Like, I can be cordial enough when I meet new people, but a little bit reserved. But yeah, you get to know me, then
all bets are off.
I'm great.
Yeah.
As
I'm
I've
really good at that.
gotten older, I'm like you, Jay. I'm more conscious, like just about what I'm going to say, and first impressions mean so much. After I know you, after a certain bit, like all bets are off. I will,
Yeah,
if
I
I
can
can
start
get-
talking to you like we've been friends for years.
yeah, like Josh, when we finally meet in person, we're not going to have to worry about that. But
No.
like when we when we hang out, I'm gonna just, I mean, it's gonna be like this.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna
my
talk
initial,
shit
my
about
initial
people. It's gonna be
social
great.
anxiety is real. For
Jay,
sure.
you're not gonna have to worry about that because like when we hang out,
Well, for you and me, no.
no, you're just gonna be like,
I mean,
It is
I-
actually incredible that we've never met in real life. Still.
it's
silly.
We gotta fix this.
We got to amend that for sure.
and do a live show.
A live show for, what do you want to do it at? A football stadium?
I think so. I
You think
think
we can sell out a stadium? Where did Oasis do their show?
the I don't know. They do like football stadiums. They do
I
like
think we could do. I think we could
Wembley.
pull that off.
Like you think so?
Oh, we could do Wembley easy.
What movie would we review?
Live commentary, Crank 2 High Voltage.
Okay, I think the world would want that. Honestly, I still have to see Crank 1. So
You've never seen a Crank?
No, I told you I've never seen the Cranks.
Honestly, I haven't either.
I've seen Christmas with the Cranks.
All right, we're doing a Neville Dean and Taylor series.
Josh
It was
like
inevitable.
Josh liked that one. That was good.
We're doing a Neville
go.
Dean and Taylor series.
Let's not oversell it.
I don't know. I think I'm doing a better.
We're gonna cover Mom and Dad. Remember that one? Nicolas
That
Cage.
Nicolas
Oh, it's
Cage,
Nick
yeah.
Cage and
That was only one of them, though. I can't believe if that was just Neville Dean or
Who
just
was the other
Taylor, but
person
was
in that
just one of
film?
them.
Who
Was
was
it-
mom?
Boy.
Was it Nev Campbell? No. Was it Selma Blair?
I'm gonna tell you. Selma Blair sounds right.
Yeah, that does
All
sound
right.
familiar.
People are out there. We
Mom
know
and
what it
Dad,
is.
2017 film starring
Screaming at me.
Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair. Great work, Ryan. Directed by Brian Taylor of
welcome.
Neville Dean and Taylor.
Welcome. Are like they like play like murderous parents or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they play murderous parents.
Oh no, I don't know.
No,
what
no,
it is.
that is.
Oh, okay,
I was
that's
just-
literally what it is. I was just
Yeah.
I'm like literally curious what
I
that
just couldn't
was.
remember if there was like a thing that happened, like there was a
Yeah, like
radio
a flip switched
thing
or
that
something.
happened, or yeah, or
Oh, Brian Taylor directed Hellboy, the Crooked Man.
Oh my god, he
Oh,
did
I
that
saw the
new
trailer to
Hellboy
that, and
movie?
it looked awful. I did not know
man.
that was him.
I don't know.
I don't know. Looks
Might
like
have been
we're gonna-
good.
Might have been good.
I'm going to assume not.
When we do that series, Josh is going to come up for that episode.
Oh, can't
Mark
wait.
Neville Dean's last film was Panama, starring Cole Hauser and
Did
Mel
they-
Gibson.
Did they do the?
Wow.
They weren't the guys that did the Ghost Rider film sequel, did they?
They did the Ghost Rider film.
Yeah, they did
Ghost
a
Rider
Ghost
Spirit
Rider.
of Vengeance.
Vengeance.
Yes, of course.
All right.
They
Because
did Gamer.
I told you this. I have a copy of Gamer for $1.99. I got
Gamer is a good movie.
Okay. Josh, have you seen Gamer?
Not in a very long time.
Okay.
It is
That's a
cable watch
fascinating-
movie
a
from back in the
fascinating
day.
film.
Kind of sounds like a Verhoeven kind of film. Honestly.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
Yeah.
Very much so, actually.
When I was reading the back, I was like, oh, interesting.
But it's like,
Oh,
what
slice
if
of America.
Verhoeven film was entirely off-putting and lacking any true commercial appeal? That's
Then it would be Hollow Man?
kind of.
Okay.
But Hollow Man does, I think, get that commercial appeal in the third act, which I
Yeah.
know, Jay, you don't like all that much, and I understand, but
I'm like back and
that-
forth on it.
that to me
so-
is where the movie is leading towards, just for a full-on, we're like basically
just too
slasher
long.
movie.
Josh, it's
The
too.
midsection is kind of
It
Some of
turns.
the effects are good. I
I
like
think I think the ending is
the
just too
water
alien-y. It becomes like
The-
an alien movie, honestly.
fire extinguisher effects are good.
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. I don't know how he still is able to walk around after getting that like flamethrower.
Oh, absolutely ludicrous. Yeah.
The flamethrower thing was cool.
I mean, it's cool, but
Cool
he's like
effect.
literally burned all over his body. I don't know
How would you
he
not
is
see
able
that?
to function.
I mean, he
Also
also
just
just
love-
massacred.
love how he had like the healing powers immediately to just like not have those residual.
he's got healing
effects.
powers. Apparently, he has super strength too, because he can pick up Greg Gunberg just like on his own and strangle him
Yeah.
in the air.
Yeah.
That was wild. Yeah, it's the rules, but it's also the rules don't apply to white men, I guess, powerful white men. So he's
Well,
just.
I think the movie.
He's
more
just
so
he's
than-
just
that's the
succumbing the
metaphor,
power.
man.
He's just taking it all in the power of white men.
I think the movie just doesn't care about rules at that point, and it's
True.
just like we have fully devolved.
Oh, Paul
into
Verhoeven
just-
doesn't care
Yeah,
about
in my
rules.
opinion, I
sometimes.
just
He's
think it
not
is
rule
a
guy.
stupid film.
Yeah, he just
I
becomes
don't
that.
disagree that it's kind of stupid, but I think it's also like fun. In
I
that
love
fun.
stupid. I
It's
just talked
fun,
about
stupid.
the Crank films.
Yeah, it's fun, stupid though.
It's
Like-
not fun, stupid. It's just stupid.
That ending is like it makes no sense, but it's like okay, I think you kind of you know what, Josh is going to be sold on this. You earn the fun of the third act because you've gone on this fucking beat you over the head, very disgusting ride. So I think in a lot of ways he's giving the audience a little bit of, we're going to
Like,
burn this guy. We're
this is
going
what
to
you
beat
came
the fuck
for.
out of him. We're
Yeah.
going to kill him over and over again. Like, we're going to give you a satisfying death to this bastard. And I do think that that is fair. I just think it's a little long. That's all. It felt
They
long.
got a lot of characters they got to kill off at that
Yeah,
point.
but you don't
It's
have
just,
to kill them all off. That's the thing. You don't
no,
have
in
to
this movie
kill
you
everyone.
do. In this movie,
I
you
don't
know
think
who
so.
that everybody is a red shirt. No, you do.
I don't think you do. I think that's the problem with this. Like, I don't need everybody
Do
dead
you
at the end
really
of it.
think this is a movie that's not going to kill everybody off
I
except
mean, it
Elizabeth
is,
Shue
but
and
I
Josh
just,
But the
Brolin?
deaths aren't that satisfying
that's
either.
the thing. It's like, I understand they're going to do it, Josh. I don't think they need to do it. I think there's a need between like they're going to and a need factor. And that's what I think. It's like, if you're just going to kill these people, obviously just for the, like the red shirt factor, like you're saying, then sure, but do it, and to Jay's point, do it a little bit more interesting than, than
Well,
some
I
of
think
these.
there's
Get a
like
little more sadistic and creative with it, is what I'm
well, there's
saying.
like hints of it, I think, because like we've seen people get strangled before in movies, obviously. But the
We
fact that
have?
the well, yeah, I know,
Okay, okay.
shocking.
Well,
But the fact that this person gets strangled and you actually see the hypoxia in her eyes, that's not a
yeah,
detail you see in a lot of stuff
that's
like that.
fair.
You kind of have to be a sicko to
But
know that
this
that is what happened.
Josh,
this is
I
the
had no
man.
idea about that. What
This
was
is
that
the
word again you
man
used?
who melts a guy with acid in RoboCop and then turns him into absolute goo when he
Yeah,
gets run over by a car. Right. So
yeah,
the bar is high for Paul Verhoeven kills. And I
yeah,
don't think
Sure.
he
And it's not at that same
comes anywhere
level.
close to his potential.
yeah. He could have gone,
No,
but he
I would
probably
agree with
had to go
that.
a little safer because I mean, probably
This
wanted
was the
all the
only
sicko
movie he
stuff in
didn't
there.
have to recut to get down to an R, which I
Really,
thought was
Which
interesting.
is
that
always
is,
fascinating because especially in like the 80s, yeah, they were really big on especially violence to cut things down on.
which is
Yeah.
crazy because like it just feels like the era where everybody was shooting and killing everyone.
Yeah.
In the
Well,
popular movies. I mean, like
there's a whole
Stallone
other
and fucking Schwarzenegger just ruled that era.
yeah. There's a whole other conversation though about like, conservative America rearing its head again and it
Yeah.
Yes.
impacting
It feels like we're
culture at
about
that
to get
point.
into that again. It does a little
Yeah,
bit.
Oh, we're doing
not a
great.
little bit.
We're not doing. No, we're not doing
Do you
good.
see Babylon though? That would have been recut.
Probably would have been for the better.
That's enough of that. Save that for the Chazelle series.
I'm just saying.
You're gonna have a lot of volunteers to
There's a
talk
lot
about
of,
Babylon, I know,
there's a
because the
lot of
Babylon Hive is strong
The Babylon
online.
Hive is buzzing.
people in your Babylon Hive.
What do y'all think of I love
Babylon?
Babylon. What do y'all think of Bacon in general?
Like as an actor?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I
an
like him.
interesting
He's an
sort of
interesting
case study.
I think he's a little bit more interesting when he's not doing loud roles. Like I don't know.
You
like
think so? I think he's
like-
a good skis.
have you ever seen? I mean, you've obviously all seen Mystic River, and I actually think
Yeah.
he's really great in that movie
I
because
think he gives the best performance in that movie.
Yes.
Honestly.
there's a movie he directed, The Woodsman. You seen that?
I haven't
Did
seen
he direct
that.
that movie?
Yeah, I thought he did. Maybe somebody else did. I thought he
I
did.
know he was like involved with it. I didn't know if he directed it or
I don't
not.
remember
But
if he-
I didn't see it because it sounded like the most uncomfortable movie that I would ever watch.
He's incredible in it. But it is, yes,
I heard that,
Josh.
but,
it
yeah.
is a hard watch. He plays a sex offender in that movie.
Yeah.
He
He gets like released from prison,
yes,
I think.
and has to
Yeah.
kind of navigate back into life. And then he also did this. There was an HBO original movie he did.
Was
where-
not directed by him.
No, I'm sorry. Then I thought he
Directed by Nicole Cassell.
did. Okay. He did a movie where he played like a member of the military, and his son died in Iraq. He has to like bring his
Yeah.
body back.
It's like an HBO movie.
It was
right?
like an HBO movie. He's really good in that. He's really good at quiet drama. He's really good, even like in Frost Nixon. He's great as like a
Yeah.
background sort of secondary character guy there
Still think
too.
he's pretty good at skis.
And I think that when he plays the villainous stuff, it's so easy for him to just kind of flip onto that mode, and it really is the most uninteresting thing for him to do. I think
He was
when
really bad in Maxine, in my opinion.
I didn't.
Oh, I liked him in Maxine.
I
He
thought
was like
he
the
was.
only thing I liked about that
I think
movie.
when he gets to push himself a little bit, I think he can be a lot of fun. I actually thought he was kind of fun at Maxine, but
Anybody
it's just
see
sleazy.
they them?
Oh, they
No,
slash
no,
them.
sir, yeah, it's they slash them.
They
Yeah,
slash
That is
them.
the
they
actual
slash
title.
them, which is
Not a good movie.
honestly a really great horror title
It's a great title.
for a
Bad
bad
movie.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with that movie is that it is so focused on trying to like give those characters like some like decency because it takes place in a conversion camp, and so you obviously want to care about these poor kids going through it. But then when it becomes the slasher movie, it doesn't have the conviction to kill any of them, so
No.
they're left with like two adults. That's all they can do because they're so
Yeah.
afraid to kill the kids.
Yeah.
Bad movie.
It's a bad movie. Silly stuff. But
Yeah,
I
that was a
think,
bad
but
It
movie.
had potential, but not
but I
great.
like him.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime he shows up, anytime the Baconator shows up, I'm
I
ready
just
to
I,
take a
I
bite.
I actually don't know if I like him that much.
Well, the thing about Kevin Bacon for me is that he will
Seems
always
like
have a
such a
pass
nice
a little
guy.
bit
He does seem like a nice
because of
guy.
Tremors.
Yeah.
Tremors is a perfect movie.
You know, one of his great performances, Crazy Stupid Love, David Lindhagen.
He's so good in that movie too. That's a good movie. That's a
That
good.
is a movie that I think has really sort of carved out a space
Yeah.
in the culture.
It's it. I remember watching it at the time. was
I like
this
that movie.
This is a good movie. Gosling's great in it.
There's the one absolutely incredible scene in it,
Which one?
which will make the rounds pretty regularly.
Oh, is it the reveal?
where they reveal that
You want
Steve
to
Carell
spoil
is
it?
Emma Stone's
Oh wow.
dad.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
spoil it. Okay.
Yeah. And then David Lindhagen shows up.
Yeah. And then but then
And
the
then
other dad
the
shows up.
cops-
John
the
Carroll
cops
Lynch
get
shows
called
up.
on him. Yeah.
And it's like a great like sort of madcappy comedic.
It's like a
sort of-
genuinely, I think, like very well directed
Yes.
sequence.
Yes. I love that movie. I think it's so good.
It's a good movie. Marissa Tomei's in it, so it's good.
Oh my god. Important person.
Whew,
Yeah.
understatement.
Yeah. Josh, have we asked you before your important people?
I don't think formally.
Well,
They just
Josh,
come
This is
up in
consider this
conversation.
formal.
Well, consider
This
this
is
a formal
Well,
thing.
I mean,
You listen to the show, you had to know a little bit that this was going to get asked to you at a certain
well,
point.
I have thought about it, but
I know you have.
well, but there's also different ways that I can answer that. Like an important person in terms of like the first important people in my life, or the ones that are have
You know what, Ryan?
evolved
We've never
throughout
really
the
gone
years.
down that rabbit hole. Who was your like first crush?
It was Brendan Fraser, and specifically Brendan Fraser
Fraser.
in George of the Jungle.
Monkey Bone.
What was your
Oh,
Jay? Who was your first crush?
you know the
Or
one.
important person. Sorry, we're not calling it crush. We don't call it that
Yeah.
around here. You know better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this wasn't my like first, but the one that I remember being a big one for me, and this is not who I would call my type at this point whatsoever, but Kate Bosworth in Blue Crush,
Oh,
huge,
all right.
huge.
I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Gotta like think back. I don't know.
Well, you got like two different options. You
I
can
can
make, too.
yeah, I can go. I get to
So-
go both ways. This was wonderful. You have to come back. I'll have to let me think on that. Actually, while you answered the modern question, Josh, I can come back on that. Let me think. Let me look at.
Oh well, I mean the modern like this plethora of choices right there. I mean that's basically all my Twitter feed is at the moment. You know.
Check his Twitter follows, folks.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
It's all the fan photo stan accounts.
I mean, I
out
will
there.
say like the Nicholas Holt thing.
Hayden Panettiere and Tiger Cruise.
Yeah. Nicholas Holt was the one that
Tiger
I just
Cruise. Shut.
got.
I'm sorry, Josh. Shut the fuck up, Jay. Good Lord, not Tiger Cruise. We're not bringing that up again. Sorry, go back to you, Josh. I'm
No,
sorry.
I was just saying that the Nicholas Holt tweet that I just had, I think is actually the biggest tweet that I've ever had. It's the most viral that I've ever been, and it's for me saying that he looks good blonde. I mean, but Glenn Powell is an important person right now.
Oh yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
layup.
yeah.
Obviously, Jonathan Bailey's another one. It's the only reason I went to go see the Jurassic World movie.
Or Wicked.
But I like Wicked.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Do you? Or are you just
Yes, I
telling
do.
you telling yourself that?
A lot of people like
No,
Wicked, I
I
will
liked
say.
Wicked. I
Why?
liked
A lot of
Wicked.
people who know what they're talking about like Wicked.
I think we know what we're talking about.
I
We
think
were
in that
told in
particular
a in
instance
an
they don't
iTunes
know what
review
they're
we are
talking
some of the
about.
most influential people out there in film, Jay. So
Is that
pretty
what
much
somebody said?
that was the title of the review of the iTunes review. I can pull it up right now if you'd
Mm.
like, and I can read this out loud
Hayden
I
again.
know, Ryan,
Panettiere
you
had
hate
2 dating
It
stints
Wicked.
it
with
says the
Vladimir
best
Klitschko.
podcast for cinephiles. That talks
Well,
about us.
okay.
The director watch series is incredible.
And you were free to not like Wicked. That's
Yeah,
fine. I think you
exactly.
do maybe talk about a little bit too much about how much you don't like Wicked,
I
but
don't know what you're talking about. I
Not
never
me.
bring that
That's
movie
a
up.
Ryan thing.
I've never brought that up.
I am innocent.
I've never
oh
brought
no,
that
I
movie
know.
up.
Ryan is the one who I know last year was like every 5 minutes was about like, hey, did you know Wicked's not a good movie? Don't know if
Well,
I mentioned that
maybe
before.
all the other people on the other side shouldn't have been like, it's way Best Picture. And it didn't. So
Or
Well,
just
you
a
know
lot of
who was
people
right about Best
people
Picture the
like
whole
it.
time?
Jay was.
Congratulations.
Me.
Jay was right the whole time.
The whole time. I
But
never wavered.
who else, Josh? Well, we all know Ben Wishaw's big on the list, right?
I mean, yeah, obviously, like Ben Whishaw is sort of evergreen. Riz Ahmed, another one that who honestly I think Riz
What's
Ahmed
Riz
is
Ahmed been up
the
to?
most attractive man on the planet.
That's fair. I, I agree with that. Riz Ahmed being, do you want him to be Bond?
No.
No?
Man, Riz Ahmed all of a sudden 42.
Damn.
Yeah.
He looks great.
He does.
He
Looks
looks
great.
so good.
Um,
Oh, he's in the Phoenician scheme?
Mm-hmm. Shows up wearing suspenders, and it's the hottest he's maybe ever looked.
I'll say early on in life, Selma Hayek was and still always is an important
Mm.
person. And
Oh, that's right. There's a reason you like Wild Wild West.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
See,
Talk about a trash movie that Josh and I both like,
Yeah.
Wild Wild West. And there's specifically every girl in the world, and Josh will know this. There's specifically a Rolling Stone cover of Zac Efron that is an extremely
Oh
important
yeah.
thing to me.
With
And
the white t-shirt
yeah, oh,
and
Dark
yeah,
Josh,
yeah.
don't,
Of
yeah.
course I know what that is.
Yeah, everybody knows. Um, but yeah, for Jay, it was, who'd you say again, Jay?
Kate
Can you?
Bosworth.
Kate Bosworth? That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Kate Beckinsale a little too.
Kate Beckinsale.
In Serendipity,
I'm
my
speechless.
heart. Yeah.
What was she was Adam Sandler's wife in
Click.
Click?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah, the
movie.
era when every single partner of his was like insanely beautiful and attractive.
That
He had a
was,
He had a Hayek. Was Hayek in the
she's in the grown-up movies.
yeah, the grown-ups.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She makes a crap ton of money every
Yeah.
time they make those movies.
It's either that or a vacation, you know.
Oh, very much so. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about with of this movie called Hollow Man?
It's a
Jay?
good question.
I mean, I would say one thing that I did wish we actually got a bit more of is that moment when they are showing the failed experiments with the
Yeah.
apes, and there's that one that like is melting. I really love that, and we only get like a brief clip of it when it's like archival footage that they're showing the generals. I wish that was a full scene because it looked
Probably
like
ran out of
a
money.
really great scene. Or honestly, it might have been something they filmed initially and just couldn't figure out a way to make it work. But I thought like the effects work there very good. I really, really did like that
Great
scene.
stuff there.
Yeah. I mentioned William Devane, like a nothing role, but he is one of those actors that I like seeing. He has like a good character actor presence to him, and even though it's a nothing role, I enjoyed it. And I think the only other thing that I would also mention is that I did really like the muscular kind of version of that character at the end, and I did find it interesting that that was set up earlier in the movie, though, because when the big ape that's invisible is going into cardiac arrest, and they use the defibrillator, when they use that, you see that it becomes visible for like half a second.
Yeah.
So the movie may be dumb, but they did set up some things earlier, so I'll give the movie credit for that. And it led to a pretty good effect later on in the movie. So I think the film is trash. It is. It's not going to be one I'm going to defend with my life, but I have fun with it overall. I think it's somewhat enjoyable. I have a good time with it. It's very disposable, but for what it is, like, it's a decent time if you accept it on those terms.
J-Dog?
Yeah, I'm almost there with it. I don't I think most of Verhoeven's career is elevated like prestige trash, and this never really transcends just being trash.
Hmm.
However, if there is one legacy for it, it is those effects. I was just looking up other 2000 movies just to kind of point out how much better the effects of this movie are than others, but then I discovered Perfect Storm has really good visual effects.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So a good
What are
year
you cheating?
for special effects, I guess.
Are you cheating
Oh,
already?
oh, well, now I think you've just shown your hand.
Well, I'm just
But
saying.
that wasn't my intent. But I literally just
I
Googled
think you would have been
2000
able to guess
movies.
that
Yeah, you
anyway.
would have been able to get this anyway.
Scary Movie is the first movie listed when you search 2000 movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
God, talk about a franchise that doesn't. Well, I guess they're bringing
I'll
it
tell you
back.
a movie that doesn't have as good special effects, if you can kind of call them that, was the very audacious, but what I would ultimately call a failure, Dinosaur. The
Oh, the
Oh, the
Disney
Disney
film.
one,
the Disney
yeah.
film that was putting like
God, I
CGI
haven't seen them
dinosaurs
talked
in
about that movie in forever.
Yeah.
real
I
Big
remember
deal
that
when it came out.
they were so
landscapes.
like,
Yeah.
this is the thing. They
I
were, they,
remember, yeah.
and it was one of the live action films or in live action
Aladar.
animated thing that kind of like I think it kind of put them. Didn't it kind of put them like at a place where like that thing didn't do well either, and they just kept failing until
Oh,
they got
that
to
was the nadir of Disney animation.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they had that, but then like Pixar they were separated at the time, right?
They
Yeah.
had
And then
not they had a partnership, but Disney had not acquired them yet.
yeah, and so they were just releasing like great movie after
Yeah, they
great
were their
movie after great movie.
distributor, but they
They were like
weren't.
right like
Yeah.
Yeah.
wasn't a 2000 like a Bug's Life, right?
Bugs Life was 98.
Or 98? Okay, so
I don't think
this
they had a movie in
so
2000.
no, because in
2001 they had,
99 in 99 they had Toy Story 2.
99 was Toy Story 2 and 2001 was
Mm,
Monsters Inc. So
Inc.
I don't think they
Yeah.
had one in
So they
2000.
were doing every other year for the most part after that.
Meanwhile,
Because then
for
they had Nemo in '03
Disney, this
and
was
Incredibles
like,
Incredibles
'04.
oh 04.
Yeah.
well, you know what? Actually, there's
And
some
then,
good movies in here.
but
Fantasia
then
2000, Dinosaur, Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis,
Approach
Lilo
New
and
Groove
Stitch, Treasure
rules.
Planet, Brother Bear, Home on the Range, Chicken Little,
That's when it starts falling.
Meet the
But
Robinsons,
at the same
Bolt.
time as that's falling, the live action films are kicking up. You know, like all the sports films, Pirates of the Caribbean,
Pirates. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Miracle, Remember the Titans, some of these, like The Rookie, some of these things, The Kid, like these were the movies that were sort of saving them while the animated stuff was falling. And
Yeah.
then they acquired Pixar and were having billion-dollar movies ever since.
But even then, it was like Emperor's New Groove did okay, but
That's such a good movie, though.
They had to make it twice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank
So it
God they
cost
did.
a ton of money.
Do you guys like, do
Atlantis cost a ton of money
you guys
and
like
was a
Emperor's New Groove?
mild hit. I love
Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove.
I have
Yeah.
not rewatched that movie in a long time, but I remember it being fun.
Atlantis is and Treasure Planet. Those were films I was like, I still, I need
I
to
think
go back
Treasure
and watch.
Planet is interesting. I think Atlantis is bad.
Yeah.
Really? Usually most people say that would be the opposite.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I'm
that's
full of
why
surprises.
we're given the best takes. You know what I mean?
See, I
Yeah.
remember watching Atlantis in theaters, but I think, there's always like an era with Disney movies where you think you kind of grown out of it a bit, so you stop watching the animated movies, at least in theaters. And so there's kind of like a blind spot with some of those films. And
That
to
was
me,
my era too. I did
yeah,
a full rewatch during the pandemic of every Disney movie.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like right around that era is when I started to recede from watching Disney movies in theaters. So, like right about the time that Treasure Planet came out is when I stopped watching them for a while. So
Yep.
I have seen it since, but I saw it much later, not during its initial release.
hmm
Okay. Jay?
Atlantis, Trousdale, and Wise. Those are the Beauty and the Beast guys, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah.
Hello. Jay.
Yes, hello.
Are you paying attention? Jesus
Sorry, I
Christ.
was staring at my neighbor
Once again,
across the building.
think your wife would kill you if you were doing something like that. Before we get out of here, we're going to test your award season knowledge based on the film we just reviewed, Holloman. In a segment we call "It's an Honor to Get Nominated." Jay, I think I might have spoiled it for you, but was Holloman nominated for any Academy Awards?
I was assuming, just because of how proficient I think the effects are, I was thinking that this must have been nominated for visual effects. So I will say that. I think you kind of, again, showed your hand a little bit, but I will say that was its lone nomination.
That is correct, sir.
Okay.
You would have guessed that anyway, though.
You would have got it.
I was absolutely going to guess that.
Yeah. And not only that, though, I think this is the third time, actually, Jay, I have been with you where we have talked about Hollow Man and its visual effects nomination because we did the 2000 retrospective, and I believe we brought up
That's
that
right.
category
That's
then.
right.
And you came on to the MVP podcast to talk about Gladiator, and we talked about the category then. So this is the third time we have talked about Hollow Man and the visual effects
It was meant
Oscar
to be.
category.
You guys really love this fucking year. You guys might as well just marry this year while you're at it. Good Lord.
What did we give 2000 best pick to in the retrospective?
Bamboozled.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's one of our great episodes.
That's one of the best ones.
And then I saw Bamboozled in a movie theater like 2 weeks after that.
And you saw how gloriously it looked.
It looks like something.
Did you show up in cosplay?
It's very...
Pull Ted Danson?
It's me and Whoopi in the front row.
Now let's see how many of the listeners actually know what the Ted Danson reference is.
Yeah, you go look that up, folks. Or
do that Google search on your own.
Prepare to be amazed.
That in a private browser, please, for the love of God. It's going to ruin your search engine. Oh my God, good job, Josh. Yeah, what an incredible film. Yes, but Jay, Hollow Man is correct. It sadly lost the Oscar to Gladiator.
Gladiator effects look so bad.
They're so bad compared to this. I would give this, but also The Perfect Storm was the other nominee in the category, which
that one looks good.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't think the VES awards were around in 2000, like the Guild for Visual Effects. I'm not sure if they were around back then, but I feel like they would have given their award to Hollow Man over Gladiator. Like the Oscars were going to give it to Gladiator because it was the Best Picture winner, but I feel like people who worked in visual effects probably would have done either The Perfect Storm or Hollow Man because they are better showcases specifically for the visual effects.
It does not look so, Josh. That
I don't think they were around back then, but that feels like something that they would have done.
This movie was nominated for an MTV Movie Award. Would you guys like to know what it was nominated for?
Most consensual sex scene.
Best villain for Kevin Bacon. So they got it. They figured it out.
It is crazy that Shu got top billing.
You know what's also crazy? This movie wasn't nominated for any Razzies. You would have thought.
No, I mean, the Razzies go after you when you were like really, well, you have to be like really, really bad or like a successful woman
or
that
really
made one bad
popular.
movie.
Yeah, but
this was the Wild. No, was this?
No, that was the year before.
No, that was the year before.
Yeah, Wild Wild West was.
You want me to take a look? Are you taking a look, Jay?
Unfortunately, I am taking a look. This was Battlefield Earth. I mean, forget about it.
Oh,
that's a sweeper. That's a sweeper.
Yeah.
Worst picture nominees: Battlefield Earth, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Look who won Worst Actress. Jay?
Ooh, my favorite, Eric's favorite, Madonna.
Yeah, for the next best thing.
The Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas, Little Nicky, and The Next Best Thing.
Yeah, everybody. It was a clean sweep.
There was the Madonna.
Across the board
so people were wanting to dunk on Madonna. Battlefield Earth was
again, a successful woman
cleaning house
makes a misstep in her career, and then the Razzies are all about that.
Yeah,
they nominated worst screenplay, The Grinch. How the Grinch Stole Christmas up there.
I'm honestly
Interesting.
surprised that's the only nomination. And I don't even say that as somebody who's like, it should have
Man.
gotten more, but just like,
The Grinch was nominated for worst remake or sequel.
Hmm. Worst picture, Josh. Battlefield Earth won. The other nominees were Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas, The Next Best Thing, and Little Nicky.
And you say I don't listen to you on the show.
yeah, yeah. Jay did just read those off, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there you go.
Well,
I'm gonna say
revenge. Revenge.
yeah,
I
not
am
great
surprised.
movies.
I am surprised though that Shoe didn't make it in because I kind of feel like they would have mean spiritedly put her in.
Yeah, that
Especially
that
because it's a
would
couple years
be.
after her Oscar nomination
Yeah,
too, so
it's
it's
very
like
something
perfect
they would
time for
fucking
them to
do.
take her down
Yeah,
a notch. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, but they
but she's
didn't.
not bad in the movie,
No, she's
which
not. But
hasn't stopped them before
that
for sure.
that
But yeah,
doesn't mean anything. The quality of the shit doesn't matter to them. They are
yeah,
monsters.
yeah.
They
They
are the
nominated
worst
Jennifer
people.
Lawrence for Mother, and it's like,
They did.
yeah, they did.
That's fucking stupid. That's one of her best performances.
I know it is, but it was a divisive movie, and they're like, oh, Jennifer Lawrence is in a movie that
I
not
think I
everybody
still. I
loves.
think I
Let's
still
give
like.
her a Worst Actress nomination
I
for
think
one
I
of her
still
best
like
performances.
Mother. I think I still like that movie.
I
Worst
do like that
screen
movie.
couple went to John Travolta and anyone sharing the screen with him in
Fair.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, they were all in on Battlefield
That's
Earth.
kind of funny.
Poor
Y-
Pepper.
You know what? Battlefield Earth, I think, is one of those movies that actually is like very important in my memory because because like when you're younger, any movie you see is just usually good. Like, because you don't know what's good or bad. It's a moving
You
image in
got
front
to
of
go
you,
to
in
the
front of you.
theater.
Whoa,
Yeah.
this it was loud and bright and
Pretty much. And I
yeah.
think Battlefield Earth was the first time I remember seeing something and thinking, this isn't good. This
Yeah.
is a new sensation where I'm watching a movie and I'm not entertained
It
by it. It's
opened up your
pretty
idea
bad.
to taste, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and we all have like that moment when suddenly we have seen enough movies to know what's good and what's
No, no,
bad,
yeah, where
and
it's
we
like
can
I
make the
don't really
difference.
understand
Yeah.
why that feels like something I should have liked, but for some reason I did not have a good time watching that.
Yeah. I feel like
That's
that was the
totally
first time I
fair.
really internalized that feeling of, oh, I'm watching a bad movie, and that's never happened to me before.
Well, Ryan, you know what mine was?
What was that, buddy?
Phantom Menace.
Oh, that's right, because you don't like
I
the
was a
Phantom
hater
Menace.
from day one.
I don't.
At
Wow.
age
See, I was still into the
at
spectacle at
the
that point.
ripe old age of 8.
I
said to
don't
my
think the
father,
Phantom Menace is that
I
bad.
didn't like that very much, Dad.
I think mine was it like one of them was definitely Attack of the Clones because that's the Star Wars I do not like. Where I was just like,
Yeah, that was
why
bad.
why the fuck did I go to this?
I
And
rewatched
then I went
Phantom
back.
Menace. I
Uh,
rewatched Phantom Menace not too long ago, and like I don't think that movie's great either, but it's like
it's
kind
bet
of
is
watchable. There's got
yeah.
some good moments in it
It
I'm
too.
due for
does.
And
rewatch. I've been wanting to do a Star Wars
It's
rewatch.
better than it is literally better than Attack of the Clones, which is like
it is because after I
It's better
rewatched
than Attack
Phantom
of the
Menace,
Clones.
I went right into Attack of the Clones and got like a half an hour, and I just like
I can't do
this is
it.
terrible. It looks so bad.
I was telling Jay this one time. I think it was on the show or
looks
maybe
so bad.
off mic, but the fact that they'll do they did the re-release for Phantom Menace. They just did the re-release this year for Revenge of the Sith, and what did they do for Attack of the Clones? Fucking nothing. And what is that
To
tells
be
you everything
fair,
you need to know.
to be
No,
fair, there wasn't a great window for it because I mean,
2002. What the theaters were open back up. We cannot use the pandemic as an excuse or anything.
But they
Literally could
started
have
it
done it.
off with the 25th anniversary for Phantom Menace, and then this was the 20th for Revenge of the Sith. I get what you're saying.
To the
I do
20th?
think that. Well, they weren't doing it then. I
In
know
two
what you're
years,
saying. I
in
know what
two
you're
years, are
saying.
we going to see them do Attack of the Clones on the big
I do
screen?
think they will do it. Yes,
I guarantee you they won't.
I think after the
It's
re-release
free.
of
It's
the
free
other ones,
money.
yeah, they will.
It is
That's
free
the
money,
thing
but
about it. It's free money.
do you really
I
think people are
think
going
more
to?
studios are about to do re-releases because it's like the one revenue
That
stream
movie
that
made
is
a
actually good for them.
Revenge of the Sith made so much money on the
Yeah.
re-release.
It killed. Yeah.
It's a great idea to do that in the February March kind of window
Yeah.
when there's nothing
I mean,
out.
unsurprisingly, those prequels have been reclaimed
In 2 years, in 27, they
by
will
the people who
they
are
will
now
re-release.
on Rotten Tomatoes, giving every movie a 90%.
I do
Yeah.
think that there will be a re-release big time of The Dark Knight for its 20th anniversary on the big screen. and IMAX release as well too.
Well, that's in 3 years.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3 years. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Um,
But oh yeah, absolutely that'll
yeah.
happen.
So
And I will go see it.
I will be there. I will watch that on the IMAX screen, and it'll
Yeah.
probably since what the Odyssey comes out next year,
What? That's
maybe
next
he'll
year.
have another film by then.
Mm,
Probably 29 at the
he seems like
earliest.
a 3 year
Seems like a
gapped
3 year
director
gapper.
now.
Yeah,
Because it
yeah,
was 3 years between Oppenheimer and Tenet.
that's fair. Yeah, that's true.
And
And it was
also, wasn't,
3 year Tenet and
yeah,
Dunkirk. Yeah,
and Dunkirk and
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
He
So
knows what
he,
he's doing.
he
He's
makes a
good.
movie, he takes a year off, and then he makes, the next two to
Yeah,
kind of prep
he
for
He
it.
promotes
doesn't
the
have
hell
a
out of
cell
it.
phone. It's hard to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
I'm sure Donald Lanley can find him. I feel like Chris Nolan be on a holiday. It's like Mission Impossible 2, and like they just shoot a phone to him, and then it's self destruct. You will make another movie. We got you 100 million for this. I assume that you will not nominate Hollow Man in any other category, right? Correct, Jay or Josh?
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so. Not going to give it a
Mm.
screenplay quite. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I didn't mention this in the final wrap up, but wouldn't give it for score either because that Jerry Goldsmith score, he is using scraps from like The Mummy and The Haunting because I have
yeah.
seen The Haunting enough times to know what that score sounds like, and it is very much he is just using scraps
He's
from
using
It
whatever
is
he can
it
get.
is
Yeah,
effective enough, but it is derivative
it's like
for sure.
when
yeah,
Hans Zimmer pulls out the greatest hits.
Or when
yeah.
Hans Zimmer lets one of his
I was
underlings
just gonna
put his
say like
name
he
on a
assigns it
score.
to somebody
Yeah.
Yeah.
else.
Well, I'll take
Yeah,
that
slap
Pirates of the
my name on
Caribbean.
it. This
Yeah.
was actually done by
Yeah,
Joseph Johnson.
It's funny how
five other
like
people. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then but I'm gonna play it at my concert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, the
exactly.
music's still good,
No, I
but
mean
The
it's good,
Pirates
but
of the Pirates of the Caribbean thing.
yeah,
Did he write the theme to Pirate, the main, like the one that everybody knows?
not technically.
not
I don't
technically.
think
I
so.
don't think so.
But
Either. But he owns it like it is.
Shout out to Hans. Yeah, he
He's
is he has adopted it.
that's a
well, because the
great
theme
movie.
sounds exactly like Gladiator,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
and I think the guy who wrote the music to the first Pirates, I think he was like a Zimmer
Oh, he was
protege.
definitely a Zimmer guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the reason why people assume he did. But yeah, he did the sequels to the Pirates films. Zimmer did. I know
Yeah, because
that.
he was like, "Oh, that was successful. I'm gonna just put my name on everything that anyone I know."
Yeah, and people think I did the first one anyway. So
Yeah.
Klaus Badelt.
There you
yeah.
go, Josh. Thank you for coming on and doing Hollow Man justice tonight.
Even though I think we only like spent half the time talking about Hollow Man.
That's what you're
Josh.
supposed to. That's what you're
Josh.
Yeah.
supposed to do on the show. You know that. You
Enough.
listen to this show. You know.
I know, but it feels like even more than usual.
Well, it's
No,
because you're
it was
in the
Hollow Man.
spin
It wasn't.
zone.
It wasn't RoboCop.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's
like you
fine.
when you're in the spin zone, you're like, oh my god, did we do?
That's what
did
we
do
want
it?
is for people to leave the podcast and say, "Yeah, it was fine. I had a fine time."
Well, when
Josh,
we were going down like the Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks rabbit hole, that's when I knew. Oh, we were trying to find something.
So what do you
else to
give? What's
talk
your
about that
what's
Hollow
your
Man.
what's your letterbox star rating for this bad boy?
It is 3 stars.
Jay,
I think I'm 2.5.
I'm 3.
Okay.
So I think we're all
Which I had mentioned to you before. 3 out of 5 stars. Same grade I gave Nashville.
Yeah, exactly. This is sort of the Nashville of the
Yep.
21st
It's
century.
the same commentary, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
The woman naked in front of all the white men, and then of course
Yep.
the guy,
Yeah, it's doing a lot of the same
neighbor.
stuff.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
really is. It's just white men,
Degradation.
Equal
Our
footing
country.
between
Yeah.
those two movies.
Yeah,
America
just really
in the face
nasty
of-
underbelly
yeah.
of both. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
yeah. Robert Altman,
Yeah.
Paul Verhoeven, bunch of sickos. Anyway,
Tune in a couple weeks to hear me make friends on the 1975 retrospective.
no, are you kidding? In this time period, I believe it already had been out. So
Yeah,
Oh, that's
already
true.
so, yeah.
Yeah. In the past, go look for that one on the
So
feed.
we like to do a little bit of Nolan time jumping around here when
Yeah.
it comes to stuff like that. Josh, can you tell everybody where they can find you and all your work on the internet, as well as give out a recommendation of the week, something that you would like to recommend? Doesn't have to be something new; it could be something old that our listeners should check out. And also, thank you again for coming on and doing this silly, stupid show that we do all the time.
Well, thank you for the invite. I always appreciate it. You can find me on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Blue Sky at JR Parham. You can find my work over at Next Best Picture and AwardsWatch. And something I would recommend, to once again kind of date where we are at the moment, but we are recording this not too long after the July 4th holiday. And whenever there's a holiday, I always am in the mood to watch a Bond movie. I don't know what it
Oh,
is, but it feels like that's always an appropriate time to watch one of those films. So I was trying to figure out which one to see, and the one that I ended
Octopussy.
up rewatching, no, actually, it was Die Another Day.
Oh, all right.
And here's the thing I'm going to say about Die Another Day.
Madonna,
Yep, Madonna once again.
right, Jay? Jay, have you heard
My favorite. Yeah.
your favorite? There you go.
Yeah,
I definitely haven't gotten in trouble talking about Madonna recently on the podcast.
nope, not at all. I think Die Another Day is actually a very fun movie.
It's
And
a wildly silly movie. That's
it
for
is
sure.
a
Yeah,
very silly movie for sure. But I think that film actually has a lot of very entertaining moments in it. And yes, it goes off the rails for sure in a lot of places, but like the pre-title sequence of that film with the hovercraft chase, I think is really
it's
good.
really
I
good.
think Brosnan's performance as Bond is actually like I'm not gonna say it's like, the closest it's ever gotten to Fleming or anything, but I think he has a lot of charisma in that role. And I love the car chase in Iceland. And Rosamund Pike is great in it. Like, that is a movie that I think definitely is remembered for the bad things about it, but I do think it clouds a lot of very fun elements to that film. And to be honest with you, I would rewatch that movie before I would rewatch The World Is Not Enough. I
Oh
find it to be a more
man,
rewatchable movie than that. I do. I stand by that statement. So it's not a perfect film, but I do think if you're in the mood for kind of silly Bond, you could do a lot worse than Diner of the Day. And I'm here to say it deserves a better reputation. And I kind of like that movie, and people should give it another shot.
I really do like The World Is Not Enough, but I seem to be the only man on that
I
island.
just think it's so boring.
Maybe it's because I was nostalgic because it's the first Bond film I saw in theaters, but also too,
It was for me too.
I don't know. I kind of like its serious tone a little bit, but I also know it's convoluted. I don't mind Die Another Day. This is the problem that Josh and I had with the Villeneuve announcement and whatever they're going to do over at Amazon. It's like I kind of miss this gear of Bond, the silliness.
The
We've had
lighter touch, yeah.
everything has to be so fucking serious all the time, and
No, Villeneuve's going to be a laugh riot.
Yeah.
from the man that brought you prisoners and unsundies, a laugh riot. I just I kind of wish we would go back to. I mean, obviously, yes, you can have a serious touch, but also a little bit of a tongue in cheek is never a bad thing. I don't. We're gonna have to see who writes the script, but I'm worried about the template of it being forward, being the Villeneuve
It's
mark.
going
Yeah,
to be
that
very
doesn't excite
dour.
me.
It's going to be
Yeah,
very dour.
yeah, and it's like, God damn it! Like, I think we need fun movies, and I'm not. This is not a shot at anybody out there or a shot again at Dune, but those aren't fun movies. Like
Well,
they're not.
in some respects, they are.
I don't think they're. I'm not. When I think of fun, I don't think of that movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Not in the like broadly entertaining sense.
I think
No, I
they're.
don't
I
need
think
that.
that like they're spectacle, and audiences
Yeah,
love seeing him.
It is
But
a
I
little
don't.
disappointing to me that they're doubling down on the Craig vibe,
yeah.
it seems.
Yeah, and it's like I would like you to kind of do your own thing, and I even like the idea of maybe them going back to like the past a little bit. You know, not in terms of recreating those movies, but like an older flair to it a little bit. It would have been fun, or so it's just something different than just a
Yeah.
modern warfare fucking movie
I
with a
have no
Bond.
faith that we're getting that much of a lighter tone,
No,
and the final nail in the coffin might be whoever they cast as Bond.
it's
Well,
That's
what
gonna
if
be.
they did old Bond? What if they brought Lazenby back?
Would you, Josh? What if they brought back Brosnan? Because that's been something that's thrown out
no,
there. That doesn't work either.
no.
Bad.
Like
I rather them just bring like if they're gonna do an older Bond, just then at that point just do Idris or just do Tom Hardy for Christ's sake. Like just do that.
well, we
They're
don't
not going to
need.
do
But
that.
they're not gonna do that either. They want to go
They've
the younger
already
route.
done it. Like Daniel Craig went from like Bond Begins to Over the Hill within like the
Two
span of
films.
one, yeah, 1 or 2 movies.
No, I agree. Like by Skyfall, he's like, "You're a washed up piece of shit," and you're like,
And it's
"What?
like
You can
we're just
barely
new.
walk.
You can,
Yeah.
yeah. You've got no cartilage in your knee and your
Yeah.
shoulder, you know." But
Like, I
yet
like the Craig movies, but a little
they're
bit of a
they're
identity
so
crisis with those
inconsistent, and a
movies.
lot of that
Yeah.
I think trajectory was because of the strikes. But man, Skyfall still fucking rules. I love them, and Casino Royale's great. It's all about the beginning of these things. It really is all about like
Yeah,
how do
that
you
sets the
start this
template.
stuff, and that's why I was like kind of just like fuck it, give Martin Campbell the reins and let him do it again. You know what
I'd
I
be
mean?
fine with it.
If they would have allowed, why
He's reinvented that series
Jay? He's
twice.
2 for 2. Let him do it. Why
It
not?
might be the only good thing that he's done. That and The Mask of Zorro is like,
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
It's been 20 years since he's made a good movie.
yeah, but the only thing he can seem to do well is James Bond.
That's
And
fair.
specifically the first Bond movie of an actor.
Jay, he's made your
so-
favorite James Bond movie.
That is true. I do love Casino Royale.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean,
very
like,
close to #1 for me too.
I mean, like, if it was
He
somebody,
is 81 years old.
if it was somebody like him, and then Villeneuve did the second one, I kind of would be more on board for something like that. Not starting
yeah.
it, not you know what I mean. Like, I would be more.
well, but you know
forgiving.
what? He's probably going to be one and done. So
God, I hope so.
let's take solace in that.
The honestly,
Cleaner. Anybody seen Cleaner?
I did see Cleaner.
is that any good? Is that bad?
No,
No,
it's not.
Okay.
Daisy
What was
Ridley.
it? I was
Not bad.
listening. I was listening to the Big Picture podcast. One of our former guests, Sean Fantasy, and they were bringing up the idea of like probably Edward Berger would have been the better choice because he's just a more
Edward Berger feels more like what the Broccoli's would have gone
Yeah.
for.
and I kind of like it. Almost is like the Sam Mendes pick,
Yeah.
where it's like it's the
It's like
safe
a
guy,
little bit
but,
of prestige, but you're not like an
but they
auteur.
but they understand, but they're not. They understand they can do their own thing in it, but they aren't going to be so held to lore and their own personal attachment to it, and then but they'll serve the ultimate story, which is actually the Bond and not their own self.
Yeah, I would have been fine with Berger. I would have been fine with literally everybody else on that list.
Paul King.
Literally everybody.
Paul King would have been wild. Could you imagine?
I would have preferred it.
The Paul King Bond.
What about
Anyway.
Dirty Angels? Y'all see Dirty Angels?
Jesus, you're just going down the Martin Campbell hole.
I just love Ava Green. An Ava Green action movie sounds good,
She should just be Bond.
but I don't think anybody really cared for that film.
Another very important person to all of us. Jay,
Yeah.
where can we find you? Your
Oh, it's
recommendation,
my
buddy.
turn. All right. This podcast, continue to listen to it. That would be cool. Letterboxd
Way to
at
plug
Mr.
yourself.
or Letterboxd J Ledbetter, Twitter at Mr. J Ledbetter. Recommendation of the week: College Football 26, baby.
Oh, here we go. I was going to ask you about
Come on.
this.
It's
so-
here.
I was going to ask you if you were going to buy the new version.
Paid the premium to get it early.
Jesus Christ! Of course.
I've got it already. I'm in 2 online dynasties.
Did you do the one where
I'm
you
in
can?
no, excuse me. One I'm Utah, and the other one I'm BYU, baby.
Your BYU?
The Storm and Mormons,
Well, just be careful what quarterback you pick up.
or be careful about my extracurricular activities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Josh, have you?
I'm married though. I'm in the clear.
Josh, have you heard about that? You're obviously
I
not
zoned out. I don't know what you're talking
a
about.
college football person, but BYU's quarterback, BYU, they're mostly a Mormon college.
Brigham Young, right?
Yeah, Brigham Young
Yep.
University.
Yeah.
And their quarterback was the first ever Jewish quarterback for their football team. Well, news got to the football team that over the summer he had sex with someone, and
He got kicked off the team.
he kicked him off the team, and he took his scholarship, so he had to transfer.
Well,
Because
probably-
he did something-
He was good too.
That every other quarterback in America literally does all the time. You know?
They have a code, man.
Yeah, but fuck their code. They're not going to be relevant. It's so stupid. It's like
So
you
here is what I have-
guarantee there are people that have done it on that
Here's
program.
what I have discovered in the world of BYU.
Oh, for
Those
God's
people
sake.
got a lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
they do, but evidently not enough
crazy.
to see past the fact that someone did something completely human. Stupid. I hope they lose every game next year because of this. But not, of course, in your dynasty mode, Jay. I hope you win the national championship and all that stuff.
I'm getting there. It makes recruiting tough, but
It does. But that means you have to be a good player developer
Yeah,
in that case.
that's exactly right.
Because you're getting a lot of 3 and 2 star guys, I assume.
Yeah, I just saw the Book of Mormon, so I really wanted to play as BYU.
There you go. Felt really inspired by that.
Yeah.
How are the graphics? Do they look better than the last year's?
It plays, in my opinion, pretty differently than last year's game. It's
Like
less arcadey.
like a less,
It's
like more elevated?
It's slower.
Like in a good way, though.
Has been my impression. I don't know if it's good or bad yet. I haven't played a ton, but
Okay.
play it. It'll bond you with your bros. All right. I'm talking to people that I haven't talked to in a while.
Jay, do you have
I'm in a
you have a PlayStation?
College Football 26 Dynasty, PlayStation 5.
Why don't we play online against each other?
I don't know. I'll
really-
send you a link for a
Okay.
Dynasty, bro.
Okay. Well, I don't want to do any of that, but like I'll just play you one on one. It's fine.
Dynasty.
God, no, you can invest me into something I don't want to be a part of.
Yeah. I go all in or all out.
Josh, do you have a PlayStation 5?
I do not, but I need to get one because of the James Bond game that they've announced.
Ah,
So,
yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
the other thing I need to play is the Indiana Jones game.
Oh, we played that, me and the wife. It's
You like
really
it?
fun. Yeah, you
Yeah.
would love it.
I need to play it. I own it, but I haven't played it yet.
Well, you're a big indie guy. Why haven't you played that Indiana Jones game, though, buddy? These are the things, you know. Did you buy the bundle where you can get Madden as well, or you're just like, no, I just want
No,
college?
I'm just college.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of economically the right move if you wanted both.
If you want both, but
I
I ain't about that Madden life.
I play both.
EA Sports about to lose the NFL license, which I'm hoping means a better NFL game comes out of that.
Yeah, they've kind of
Yeah,
been on
though,
just
I
like,
think EA is just gonna kind of.
well, they're just on cruise control with those games.
Yeah, they just reskin it. I mean, that's kind of what they did with NCAA or excuse me, college football as well. But
Yeah,
anyway, there you go.
there's your recommendation.
I haven't watched a great movie in a while.
It was great that you brought that up because I was literally going to ask you off mic. So I'm glad you brought this on mic to do.
You're
this
welcome.
as
We
well.
love bringing stuff off mic, on mic, so
Exactly.
that people get to hear about stuff that we normally wouldn't bring up.
And that essentially nobody cares except for us, which is
Yeah, totally.
That's what we do. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd.
We're gonna bring a sports podcast to AwardsWatch.
Blue Sky, Ryan McQuade 77. I think if I mentioned that as an idea, I think Eric would fire all of us on the staff. And
Deservedly so.
Deservedly so. Even nobody involved would get.
After I talked about
I would
Madonna
be
the way I did
very
to
much
him,
petitioning myself to be apart from that discussion.
Josh is like, shut the fuck up about sports right now.
I'm just saying you can have your conversation about sports, but like I don't want to be indicted in that conversation.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
What was I saying? Oh, yes. Where you can find me on social media. All my writings here at AwardsWatch. If you like podcasts, please listen to the main show that's on Mondays. iTunes and Spotify 5-star reviews. We greatly appreciate it. Or on the website, please sign up for the newsletters. It's the best place to get all of our news, reviews, interviews, and podcasts into you all in one place. Recommendation of the week. You know, sometimes you just want to watch a very funny movie. I've been having like conversations back and forth with Jay and Sophia and so many people about like, you know, the bests of, you know, the last, 25 years. And the Big Picture's been doing their own countdown. And one of their recent entries was a comedy. It's the first comedy on there. It was Anchorman, Ledger and Wrong Burgundy, one of my favorite comedies. And I decided to give it a rewatch. Movie still rules.
very important movie to me.
Slowly going down the rabbit hole of maybe watching some of those comedies from the past and see if like which ones age great and which ones don't in terms of my memory.
The Apatow era.
Yeah. The 40-Year-Old Virgin was not as funny as I remember it being.
I really like that movie.
But Anchorman's still the best one. It's the best one to represent everything. It's like the cross section of really, it is honestly the last, in a way, SNL film. That and like Pop Star are really like the last ones where like the SNL alums really got to take over and do something. There's like MacGruber and stuff like that as well too that I really love. But
Well, MacGruber is an SNL movie.
yeah,
like,
that is literally the last
It
probably.
also-
literally an SNL movie.
And
yeah.
MacGruber rules.
MacGruber does rule. But this one I think is like it's one of the most quotable movies I have in the house. I love it, and I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. But if you have seen it, it's a great movie to watch when You got nothing else better to do for 90 minutes to other than to laugh. And it's
Yeah.
just reminds you, Will Ferrell used to be funny and McKay used to be less annoying. They used to make good stuff together. They should get back together
You
because
know what
that's
I
when they were the
you know what I
best.
think my favorite Apatow verse movie is?
I'm gonna say this is the end.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That is
Mm.
great movie.
I love that movie.
It made me want the whole
But I just love Russell Brand.
it made it made me want the whole Dracula musical. Like that's the great thing about that movie is you want the whole
Very early hater.
very early hater. Siegel's incredible though in that movie.
Yeah.
It's great
I
stuff.
love Siegel. I'm a Siegel guy.
I didn't like
Capital
what was it
G.
the 5-year engagement. Wasn't a big fan
Oh,
of
that
as
movie
their
was
follow-up.
interminable. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie is rough. But
The movie was like
Sarah
two and a
Marshall.
half
That
hours
one.
long.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, great stuff.
Yeah.
You
That's
haven't
a
seen
good movie.
you haven't seen the 5-year engagement?
No.
It's
I
got
didn't see
Jay's
that one.
favorite actor in it, Chris Pratt. So there you go.
Mm.
What were you gonna say, Joe? Before that, Josh?
I was just going to mention that my favorite Apatow universe movie, whatever you want to call it, is still super bad.
Super bad. Yeah, that's a
Fair.
good one.
That
It's
is
a
a
great
movie
film.
that I saw it in a theater, and I cannot really recall a movie that I had laughed as hard at during any other film than that one. And it really caught me at a perfect time too, because I was a junior in high school, so I wasn't a senior yet, but I was like sort of getting there, and
Mhm.
so the characters obviously are in that, a similar space that I was, so it felt very relatable. And it just hit me at the right moment. And as I said, I laughed so hard during that movie. And that is still my favorite.
I used to go to a lot of these with my dad, and Superbad and Step Brothers were the ones that he liked the most.
Hmm.
Step
The
Brothers I liked a lot.
Step
I
Brothers
mean, I
is
liked
great.
all that garbage back then. Even
Yeah.
like role models.
Oh,
Hooted and hollered.
who? Yeah, I mean, who? I mean, role models has one of the more quotable lines of all time, and I should say it more to you, Jay.
Rub a
That
dub dub.
well, that they've you're white, so you're Ben Affleck. You know, say that all the time.
What's the Seagull Rudd one? What's the one called?
Oh, I love you, man.
I love you,
Yeah,
man.
Really
that
good movie.
Like
A
that movie.
really good one.
Yeah.
That's very
Not even.
that
I don't
one's
even. I don't think that one was produced technically by Apatow, but
No, but
is
it
very
has
much in that
yeah.
vein.
That one's really funny, but it's also kind of sweet.
It feels like Apatow runoff.
Yeah, adjacent.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anywho, that's going to do it for this week's show on Hollow Man. We will be back next week to continue our Paul Verhoeven movie series. We're going to talk a little Black Book. Black Book, a movie that's chill, Jay? What'd you say?
Chill. It's
Chill.
chill. You know, actually, I'm sorry now. Never seen it.
Never seen it. Oh, it's a first time watch for you.
This is the only first watch in our series. Yeah.
You know what?
Haven't seen it.
Same. It's a first time watch for me too.
Wow.
Josh, have you seen Black Book?
I have not. That movie only exists as a trailer on a DVD to me.
Which DVD?
I don't even remember. I never saw a
Superbad.
trailer to that movie in a theater. Yeah. But like whatever studio that was, I remember
Okay.
seeing the trailer to it there. But that is the only place that I have seen it, and I have not seen the movie.
Until the next time Josh is on Director Watch, he is going to go through all of his DVDs and find that exact trailer that
Yes,
is
that
connected
is my
to
mission
Black
right
Book.
now.
So we will be back next week to talk about that. Until then, we will see you all next time.